know how to play around this. But that's the thing, you know, it's so many fans watching around you. You saw that opening sequence. It's so cool. It's so dope. You've got the teleporter. You've got the VCT Spark logo on the ground. And I don't know if you noticed, the stage is actually shaped kind of like a spike, the triangle.
Yeah, this stage is incredible. I mean, I don't know how to say this. I don't think I'm biased, but Pacific definitely has some of the best stages out there at VCT. And we have a very full crowd right now. It's a full house. Thailand loves Valorant. What do you guys make of the fancy comp? You know, is it as fancy as they normally do?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's that crazy, right? This is relatively similar to what you see in terms of style. But again, my eyes are all on Nizzy, on that Cypher.
All right, well, we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna go into map 1 split. We got Scars versus Fancy. We have our casters fresh from Japan, Paper Thin and Achilleos. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, we are here in Bangkok, Thailand, and we are more than happy to guide you guys through the action here of this opening match in the playoffs. Fancy United, representatives of Vietnam, looking to do what they haven't been able to do. You know, this is our first time that we're really getting to see this region have representation. Scars, though, vying for that 3rd slot in Pacific for Japan.
Yeah, this is a really exciting matchup. A very disciplined team in Fancy, a team that really likes to play together. They have good coordination versus this tremendous firepower that Scars brings to the table. So this is going to be a really exciting match. I can't wait to see how FTY is going to try to deal with this incredible play that we often see, particularly from Jemkin. And it's gonna be really interesting here on Split with the double duelist.
It is, and this is a map that we got to see very recently from the set of Scars as well, being able to help, you know, win on that to knock out D plus Kia and whatnot. So we know that they are terrifying on this map. It's about how much study have you been able to do during the off days from the side of Fancy. Have you come up with anything new to show us to try to catch Scars off guard? Because you're mentioning Jemkin, I'm sure he's going to be mentioned plenty of times as we go throughout this series. He has been such a pivotal part of this squad in their success to get to this point.
Yeah, and so this is going to be really interesting for Fancy because they were doing a really good job holding angles on their defender side. If Scars is going to be starting on the attack, so a lot of pressure is going to be on them. The other thing you got to be watching out for is some of these lurks that come out from Scars. They really like to get active on the map. Alan and Yoraneko are very keen to start kind of pushing space, putting some pressure. So I really liked what the desk was talking about with Nizzy, with this Cypher. He's going to have to be really key with his awareness, with his trap wires. Those trap wires are going to be really, really important here, I think, as this series goes on. How well aware is Scars going to be of their positioning? Because Fancy really does a good job playing off that information, playing off their contact. Their protocols are really good. Their mid-rounding, I think, is really good for Fancy. Sometimes their post-plant kind of gets them in trouble. But again, what I'm most concerned about is these opening duels with Jemkin. He has been absolutely insane. 1v1s, he's so quick, he's so fast. He gets a kill, he'll dash out. He's really problematic to deal with in that situation. Heisey. 3-man stack here in the mid. So definitely already a very different look here for Fancy on this opening round. A lot of times they like to use their Cypher utility on the extremities of the map. Instead, they're going to be putting one into the center, trying to see if they can maybe catch Scars, trying to put some pressure in the mid side of the map. But right now, you can see Scars is just probing, looking to set up that opening pick. A lot of times, you're going to see Jemkin and Crystal working together as that explosive duo.
I saw the dart going out. Got the spot and the tag there on to Crystal. Does remove it. Boombot for now, just going to be sent up mid. Scouting over towards Vent, where there is a double stack at the moment there from Heisey as well as Yes I Can. Just waiting. Dog as well. Goes in, does clear out the trap wire. 4-man.
Hi guys,
stack up now from Fancy over here towards mid, which does allow for an easier entry path. Now over onto the B side. They get themselves through a little bit of damage. Going to be found. So Torneko taken low already by that decay, but Jemkin swinging the corner will be able to come up with the first 2 kills. Yoshi as well, getting one of his own. And all of a sudden, the blink of an eye, it's just Jin
dude.
left to his own devices. A frenzy, close range. Allen not ready for it. Will get taken down. That's the first step that needs the ace clutch. They want to be walking away with this pistol round victory. Nate's just going to go ahead and try to clear the bottom of the rope, swing onto the corner. Does get the dink, but Jemkin gets the kill. A 3K there for the start. Jet player on the side of Scars as they take the first pistol.
Yeah, this is a really good job here by Scars, being patient, making sure that they're kind of identifying as much as they can the positionings here, and then just let Jemkin do what he does best, take these duels. Another interesting kind of point of the difference in the comps here that I really want to highlight is the way that Fancy likes to play is sort of double controller. They're pretty much running Viper on every map along with another controller. But then a lot of times they have another pseudo controller in there, whether it be a Cypher or a Phoenix on Fracture, things like that, to kind of try to cut the map and set themselves up for these big grouped attacks that they really like to do. But this time Scars just able to get ahead of it, do a ton of damage. And that's, again, a point of concern here for Fancy, is dealing with Jemkin. How are you going to keep him at bay? What are you going to do with this utility? Because what I'm seeing already from Scars is they're being pretty aware. Some of the Cypher setups, another one of the trap wires they like to do, Fancy is right in the mid, across the box.
So you're talking about traps, they're looking to trap in Allen here, but he's going to be able to go ahead, cut tail, start dipping back. Still, though, has a long sight line to try to clear as they get ready to swing the corner. Granted, it's just going to be pistols in hand. We'll get a little bit of damage, offer some back as Jin will get tagged down to 83, but now the spike is going to be retrieved, picked up. He gets ready to get ushered into the garage. They know that there's this massive rotation around the back. It's all about finding the Cypher.
Oh my God, I didn't see him.
Izzy will be able to find one. Comes away with that elimination before getting taken down himself. Torneko in the meantime, holding it down, nearly got the collapse, but he's got the quick little kill going off that hip fire to get a 4K on the Omen. One weapon does get lost, but Scars start very strongly here, 2-0.
I like the idea here from Fancy. I mean, really kind of put some pressure onto the back line of Scars here, even forced them to be pretty quick and adaptive with grabbing the spike as well. But Torneko has been really good with that Marshall on these
second round
anti-eco rounds. Love to see it from Scars. Let's see what now that we have the full buy, or well, with the half armors coming through for the side of Fancy. This time around, setting up the trap wires in a little bit of a different spot here, expecting some kind of mid-pressure, giving up some space to try to play a reactive, potentially like crunch play from the A main ramp there with that trap wire over into ropes, and seeing if they can kind of use their utility here to sort of force Scars into that position. But Jemkin potentially gonna get involved.
Okay, Cam will spot, but a quick dash and an updraft. Jemkin gets himself out of there before the corner can get swung by Nizzy. Just going to stay tucked away once more as Jemkin looks like he wants to try his luck a second time. Needs to identify where that cam was at. Doesn't quite have the read that it was just off that right-hand side box. Dog rolling forward again. Cam, he's searching for it. He has no idea where it is. Where the hell am I getting tagged from? They're still looking. The whole group effort. They finally will go ahead and scout it out. Clearing it behind the plant. Flash in though. Full blind across on the Nizzy. He drops onto the low ground. Jemkin going to be finding one. Yes, I can. Going to be taken down, and Jemkin gets himself a second. Now the site opened up, 6-0 right now for the Jet. The spike going to be planted. Slow rotate still going to be coming through. One through the attacker spawn, the other through mid. Just now arriving at vent. They need everybody in position and get ready to strike. Push up into the smoke though. Yoshi ready for the challenge. Finds Heisey. And now in a 2v4, given the economic situation you find yourself in, I think it would be wise to back away. Joe swinging out. No, we'll end up losing the rifle. It's going to be a 3-0 start with the bonus convert coming in for the side of Scars.
Well, that's huge now for Scars on this attacker side.
Yes, you are up to your
maybe you could argue that with the way that these compositions are set up, that the attacker side should be pretty good for Scars in general, but I also would argue that on the other side of the coin that I think with the way Fancy plays this map that their defender side should be pretty strong. But Nizzy here doing a good job getting some information, but this time around there wasn't that usual reaction that I see from Fancy when I've been watching them so far in this tournament, where they get a lot of information like that. There's a lot of telltale utility that's coming through up towards Heaven of B, and they don't really get there in time. The reinforcements don't come. They're really trying to funnel Scars to the other side of the map, but Scars just completely confident to keep pushing B.
Stack again. You see that flash coming through. You see the fault line as well. Torneko getting a very good idea that this is going to be a rush coming out towards Ramen. Well, the swing, Yoshi manages to find him when it's just one player out into the open, takes him down. Sheriff shots will clear out that Trailblazer, but Spike now once again going to be planted here on the B site. Question is, what can they come away with here on the side of Fancy? Can they get themselves some kills? Perhaps pick somebody off, recover a weapon to be able to do some more damage.
Yeah, Jin a little bit late through sewers to catch Yoshi there. He's going to escape back into B main, so it's going to be a really tough retake for Fancy.
Cage down, the gun seen for a brief little moment. As soon as he spots the head, he clicks right on it. Crystal finds yes I can, that just leaves Jin out with the Spectre in hand. Flash up over the top, they know that he's here. The updraft in, a little bit overzealous from the side of Jemkin, will get punished for that one. As he nearly finds the second elimination, but Torneko will be able to stand strong at the end of it all. Puts him down, 4-0 now for the side of Scars. As we get ready to go into what is very much a must-win round from the side of Fancy, and it seems like to help ensure that they come away with the win, they're going to be calling a timeout.
Yeah, fully agree with you that this is starting to already get pretty dire for Fancy. Again, a similar idea on this eco. Instead of pushing through A, they push through mid. Again, I think they've identified that Scars is willing to leave that spike in Ramen, and they're trying to put pressure on it, trying to see if they can capitalize and catch Scars a little bit off guard. But Scars doing a really good job with their reactive play. Yoshi doing a nice job from Sewers, kind of keeping that push at bay. And then they're able to stabilize, identify the open space over into B, and shift their weight over in that direction. So yeah, I mean, already Fancy here, I think, you know, feeling that pressure, that firepower that we were talking about at the beginning from Scars.
Sure. And I mean, you know, it was very back and forth for them in their group. You take a look at the other, Group B leading up into the playoffs, you say, wow, stack top to bottom. You know, just tough competition all the way across the board. We knew that this was going to be a challenge for them. We still want to see them be able to answer back here. Finally get this first win on the board, because this is a significantly larger venue than they were playing in for the group stage. There's a lot more fans here, a lot more pressure, and this is a bit of a first exposure for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough. You know, there's so much to add on to what you're saying, so much pressure with the regional stuff as well, right? Sure. Like, I mean, for both sides, of course, but yeah, I mean, for Fancy, you know, being the sole representative for Vietnam, we don't have one in Pacific yet. If they could get through, if they could find their way into Pacific next year, how much that would mean for them and for their region. And on the other side, Scars, I mean, you know, a lackluster performance from the Japanese teams in Pacific, trying to add some more firepower, some more prestige to that extremely, you know, popular region. As we saw in Tokyo Masters, the fans there, no matter who's playing, are just passionate about Valorant.
Yeah. Quick pop flash up over towards ramp. Again, this triple stack pressure here from the side of Fancy. It feels like it's being read time and time again by Scars. They have just not been paying much attention towards A main whatsoever. Yes, I can, though. Looking to hold down the site. Does find Jemkin, delivering him his second death. And that is about as good of a start as you could hope to around here for the side of Fancy United. So,
and this is almost the identical setup to round 3 that Fancy was running. This time around, Yes, I can, able to win a very important first kill duel. He's been a phenomenal fragging IGL for the side of Fancy.
Like so low.
Off screen, gets the pick there on a Crystal. That's going to be both the duelists now dealt with, so that entry power very much limited.
Wow, what a shot.
As he will find himself a third. In the meantime, Yoshi dead, leaving Allen all on his lonesome here on the A site.
I mean, he's
even
on
with that triple stack
HP.
early over towards A, did not matter. Yes, I can, living up to the name. Holds down B to help get themselves on the board for the very first time. There's Allen now. Just wants to go on the hunt, see what he can spot. It's already going to be cash capped here after this round, so no real concerns about losing out on the weapon.
30 seconds left.
Obviously, an ult charge over to Jin would be unideal, but Jin I don't think is going to be ready for this backstab maneuver coming through right now.
And any damage that Allen can do here is just great, right? Economically, you know, get himself some more ult orbs. You know, one way or another, he's going to be
one away.
One away, exactly. So he might as well just kind of go in there and see what he can get done. So this is still, even though Scars loses the round, and again, Yes, I can, standing tall there with Nizzy. Good reactions towards B main. Time about to tick down.
Well, they're playing away from him, so maybe he won't actually suffer the death here. Oh, spots one, and will be able to get Icy right before the timer goes down.
He saw the gun.
A very punishing third kill found there by Allen. Fancy get themselves on the board, but it's not without issue, not without struggle.
Yeah, and this is just huge. He barely survived this peek there from Yes, I Can. And then he's able to readjust his angle onto the other side. Nizzy with a nice tap and the headshot as well. But this is a better round here just mechanically from Fancy. Maybe they just needed that timeout to kind of take a breath, frankly. Sure. Kind of just reset and get back into this. Now we're going to see kind of our first real potential go towards A here with that spike already set up outside of Sewers for the side of Scars. And a little bit of pressure towards mid as well, but trying to see if anybody's going to be potentially pushing some space. You have a couple big ults here on the side of Fancy.
Crystal doing Crystal things. The attack off on the raise.
I mean, so...
Let's see if he comes up with any value. Two members to try to shoot from there.
Too.
Over at Venice.
What a shot.
Nice early damage found on Jemkin, healing immediately.
Jemkin again getting
just to keep him topped up. Pushes him back to 100.
Man after your own heart here, Achilles. the
Very true. And never mind.
Was that out?
Swings out, but as he finds the headshot just through the corner.
Triple
back over on A. Now going to be broken open. Jin getting taken down. Quick rotations, and Neural Theft going to be invested as well. Wants to be able to spot them all out. Jemkin realizing this, knows that he can't play out into the open just in case there is somebody in heaven that could spray him down. Plant comes through.
Spike planted.
A 4v4, the Trailblazer leading the charge. Yes, I can. Spotting one,
Jemkin
gets
dead.
the headshot. Jemkin taken down. The triple push now coming through the ramp, and right as he looks away, he ends up getting caught. Swing out of the corner. Allen's good for two, but yes, I can. He'll be the finisher with yet another triple. Fancy will now go ahead and get their second round win.
Big stuff here from Fancy, and they don't even have to invest the Cosmic Divide. I like the plant spot here from Scars, kind of anticipating that they could the Cosmic Divide.
Just a mild trolling.
Just a little bit. He was already done. It was fine. Yes, I can. Just trying to keep the spirits high there, but having another huge round, Nizzy with another good opener there, just catching a glimpse.
And that looked predictive.
Yes.
An absolutely monumental pick up there. Yoshi nearly getting himself just out of line of sight, but quick picks coming through. Really good stuff here from Yes I Can. Second round now on the board. Still cash to work through, so they haven't broken the economy yet, but getting rid of that AWP purchase certainly did help take away a massive chunk of the econ here from Scars.
Look at this three-man stack with this showstopper on the back of it.
Oh boy. Up over the top. I don't think they're going to be able to get the read on this one. And Toneko going to be able to hold down for two. Looks for the third. Can't quite get it. As he will be able to find that kill, but it's quickly traded out as Jemkin puts him down. And suddenly, just like that, 4v2 remaining. The pick of the litter as far as these spike sites are concerned. Scars where they want to go. Seems like they're just going to naturally drift over towards B.
Yeah, absolutely a great read here by the side of Scars, anticipating some kind of aggression down mid with that showstopper. Gotten a read on maybe a previous set play that Fancy had tried off the back of it. Tornado's position just so good there. Like you said, this is a very free plant here.
Yeah, they gotta just save.
Might as I mean, I guess better safe than sorry here to invest the pit, and you're likely going to get another one. You know, you might as well use it now, I guess.
Sure, but I mean, I take that as a mental win for Fancy.
Decision.
Sure.
When you're in this 2v4, granted, yeah, Yes I Can has been having a hell of a game so far, but that is so much respect being shown to pop that pit right now. So I still probably walk away as Fancy and say, you know what, okay, we're giving up a 5th round victory over to Scars, but we got the ult out of the way, and they were scared enough to have to use it.
Yeah, I can see it both ways from Scars' side. Just, you know, the last couple of rounds have gone against them. You might as well be better safe than sorry. Get that ult cycling back online, but you're right. It definitely, I think, plays a little bit into the mental aspect here as well. And Crystal is going hunting here. Nizzy not looking in that direction.
Cleared.
There we go.
Trying to spam the door, spam through the wall. Nizzy will be able to hold strong. And finds that kill, and not enough time to play off the back of the flash. So Scars will get themselves up to 5 now. Still plenty of ultimates to work with here for the side of Fancy. Try to turn this tide right back into their favor.
This was a play.
Torneko just in such a cheeky spot.
Yeah.
You don't typically see people play there, and it took the third guy to really clear him out. It's fantastic read that there is going to be that aggression coming through from mid.
And you would kind of expect now, Fancy, with a lot of these
10 out of 10 times अगर तुम वहाँ बैठे और कुछ लोग flank करने आ रहे हो तो तुम उसे मार दोगे. 10 out of 10.
Try and kind of settle back.
100% हमेशा मार दोगे. कोई नहीं देखता वहाँ पे.
Some of these movements from Scars, see if they can use that Rolling Thunder either, again, post-plan or to disrupt the plan itself. Yes, I can. A lot of pressure. Going to be on him potentially.
Oh, starting to get some deja vu. Gets tagged low, finds Jemkin to start. Crystal now.
यार ये बहुत मस्त खेल रहा है यार.
Nade, but he's already shifted away.
Nice one,
right
Crystal.
into the spray through the box.
भाई box के through spray कर दिया. He was
Crystal
weak
with just
though.
a great sense of where he was going to reposition, knowing that nade wasn't getting the kill. Suspected he's going to be the backside of the pillar. So a good answering shot.
Skin भाई बहुत मस्त anchoring कर रहा है B side की भाई. उसकी कितनी किल हो गई? 6-7 किल तो हो चुकी होंगी उसकी. 7-8. भाई 3-3-6 तो किल उसी में, ये 7वीं किल है. 7 किल तो हो ही गई होंगी भाई. बहुत अच्छी एंकरिंग कर रहा है वो.
Now maybe a double push. Scars here, Crystal. A lot of pressure on him.
So going to hold the line, and he's just going to find both of them. Nizzy absolutely evaporate. Now the showstopper out just to try to dissuade anybody from playing up onto the site.
And
We'll keep them zoned for now. Sends it towards heaven. Does it get the kill? It absolutely does. Crystal now on for the ace. The Trailblazer noting him. Do they try to give it? Looks like they are. He swings out, and the ace will be confirmed. The Scars get themselves up now 6-2.
Nice little reaction there by Crystal down in the cam when he got that rocket to land. Even he was a little bit surprised by that. But I'm a little bit surprised by the way that Fancy started to play this round after getting this opening pick. Yes, I can. Okay, he tries to maneuver around Crystal. Arguably getting a little lucky, but I don't like that double push out. You've got a lot of big ults. Again, to play post plant, to play retake potentially. And they decide to get aggressive instead and run right into one of those powerful duelists for Scars. In this case, Crystal. 5 kills brings him to 6-5.
Well, as we take a look at the coaching booth, you can see it's all smiles here in the Scars camp, and Fancy
Second timeout.
calling this second timeout, burning them all here in this first half to try to right the ship.
And again, I mean, it's the side of the map that, you know, you think you maybe can do a little bit more damage here as Fancy, seeing that's why you're investing the second timeout. You're expecting that this side needs to go better right now, because maybe they don't have as much confidence in their attacker side, but we'll see. I mean, obviously you need to stop the bleeding here, because this is really just Scars' world. And yeah, we've seen a couple good rounds, and a lot of it's been on the back of Yes I Can, getting those opening picks. In this case, he did get it again.
Yes I Can.
This time a quick response from Crystal.
Yeah, he's playing
kind
good.
of expect that rotation angle from Yes I Can and catch him through the box. Yeah, Scars just really on top of their game right now. Can Fancy find an answer here, a bounce back? Again, I'd like to see them play a little bit more defensive, a little bit more on their side of the map.
Yeah.
Try to use these big ults, because they've been sitting on this Cosmic Divide for forever.
Well, I don't think that they're going to do that. You see the stack happening right now outside of A. It seems like this could end up just being a rush play.
Ooh.
Here's to see if it's just going to be a rolling
They're
thunder
going
straight away.
A push with half shield.
Yep, it is.
Damn, A ain't gonna find nothing.
Flash, jumping around the corners, created with
They
yet another
ain't gonna
one.
find
There's a parting gift
nothing.
of the guiding light as Yoshi and Alan completely disengaged back across the opposite side of the map. That now leads.
Oh, that's a nice
just
one, man.
This Cypher now scouted. Nizzy at back of sight. Spray not quite connecting onto him. Cyberkeach buys him a little bit of extra space. Trailblazer in, but to try to take down one, but then gets distracted by Crystal jumping forward.
Jemkin is...
The paint shells claim him at the end. Snake bite from Fishio, however, will be able to find that kill, so Jemkin gets taken out. But
Damn, Crystal is opping
now
too.
drawing down with the operator, finds Heisey, and suddenly
tough
it's a
one.
3v4 to try to retake. Like you said, that the ults are there. Jin maybe can use this showstopper to try to get them out and back onto the site, but still swinging through, getting ready to come up to garage. Casio with a nice kill, finds Crystal, but can't quite get Torneko, takes him to 10, but it's not enough to finish the deal.
Nah, ain't gonna happen.
Jin catches 2, but Yoshi striking from
Never
behind,
mind, a
finds him,
1v1.
showstopper at the ready, knows that he's up towards heaven. Plays back around the corner, now drops down here onto the low ground. Does he get the sense of this one? Sensing, doesn't get the kill. The hold on, the half hold, the sprint now coming forward. Here's the footsteps, and he's just gonna be able to stick this one. As Fancy will be able to get themselves a third round win. They won't carry any weapons forward.
Wow.
But they are at least
That's
able to
insane.
find victory off the back of the timeout.
Well, pros don't fake, and this is a scrappy round for the side of Fancy. They're able to get through this. I like the idea of investing the pit in the middle. I don't mind the early push out, but it was completely anticipated by Scars. They did a pretty good job reading this round, but Jin just able to heat up here on the backside and able to keep Yoshi at bay with doing some damage with that showstopper, kind of making Yoshi second guess himself, expecting the tap. Instead, it's the full commit. But still, the money, not great here for Fancy. A couple Bulldogs.
And the operator was carried forward by Yoshi as well. And that recovery right
I
at
don't
the
know.
end. And Crystal puts it to quick use.
I don't see normally.
Kill, half the smoke's now gone.
It's not normal to op on this map on attacking side,
Pretty much
especially.
been like losing Jemkin on the opposite side.
Like I've seen people doing it, but it's not normal.
Crystal's good for the shot. One-man wrecking crew. Says now I can clear my own corners. Trapwire does get cleared out there over towards Mail just moments before that Trailblazer got cleared out. Cam still set up, but Crystal's just bouncing his way forward into the site. Still decayed down a little bit low. Opts the swinger on the opposite side. Visio right now not watching for this one. Now suddenly gets a sense of it, but it comes swinging through Crystal.
Crystal is playing absolutely crazy right
Izzy
now.
dead. Now just Jin all on his lonesome and gets distracted a bit by the paint shells. Jemkin swings off of it, and Scars will immediately reply once again. 7-3, 2 more rounds to be played in this half. Scars still looking to run away with it.
A great little utility combo here, up into ropes to make sure that you deal with that player here. The opening pick, just a dry peek there from Yes I Can, but that one right there forcing Heisey out of the corner, able to get it, and then the good reaction here. I love the way Scars starts to spread the map. They send 3 to the site, they send 2 lurkers. Now one of them's dealt with by the side of Fancy, and the other one didn't come into play, Allen, but I love the way that they're starting to throw these different looks now post-plant at Fancy. Don't give them the opportunity for another clutch round like we saw from Jin earlier.
Yeah. Things were already rough going into that last round. Now you see they become even rougher. 2 frenzies, 2 sheriffs in a classic. With this 4-man stack outside of B. Gets the spot on the 1. Fault line coming through, covering fire, trying to get offered up here by this operator. Nate goes out, swing in. Paranoia timing from Tornado is absolutely gorgeous. And then Nate will find Jin. Is he taken down as well?
Backfired. He was so aggressive.
Rubot rushing forward.
I liked it though.
Wants to clear it, but they've got line of sight. And okay, out of nowhere. Nice, he hitting him with the RKO here off the back of the sheriff shots. The double headshot. It still has so much to deal with. Grabs the gun, sends the flash, just trying to hold the spike. Bounce up into the air, reads the flank, but he thinks he confirms the kill.
He got a headshot.
He looks away, but Yoshi still stands at 13 HP. And who knows, maybe if he gets that one, perhaps it becomes possible. But a just slight misjudge on damage dealt costs him. Now it's 8 confirmed on the attacking side for Scars.
Yeah, it's a nice attempt here by Heisey, but again, this is a great response from Scars to this aggression that Fancy continues to show on these eco rounds. Everybody's in place. Tornado, like you said, great paranoia, and then they also have the gravity well and the paint shells to follow up to really make sure that Crystal can get out of there safely.
Oh dear.
Oh my word.
What more needs to be said?
Oh my god, that guy is just...
And Crystal just finds them.
Tearing them apart. No
helpless.
way.
Now on for his
No
second
chance.
ace of this
Lone
map.
on site. No support.
And he's basically staring face to face there against Nizzy. Will back off as the cam comes in, suspecting that he's been spotted. How far does he want to push to try to get this second ace?
बहुत सारे तरीके हैं.
Poison Orb comes up. Jemkin looking to push.
कौन सा तरीका अपनाते हो?
Trying to spot.
तुमने क्या क्या ट्राई किया अभी तक?
Not sure if they saw him.
Welcome to
Maybe
the
a
stream,
shoulder of
Buckle.
Nizzy as he was creeping up alongside the wall. The time is dwindling. Hope right now seemingly lost. Jemkin will go for the challenge, gets the headshot, the ace not on the cards, but Crystal will still get a 4K at the end as we go ahead and lock in a 9-3 half.
A commanding
second
half from
ace
Scars.
almost.
Just a lot of what you expect out of them. Just tremendous firepower, good reactions here. Once again, this setup here from Tornado with another beautiful paranoia. Catches 2, sets up the double. And then anticipating, again, these deep plant locations, they're ready for the Cosmic Divide or whatever is going to be thrown at them. But yes, I can. Never even used it. It never came through once. He sat on that ult the entire time, and that just shows you Fancy was just having a hard time getting into any kind of ability to try for these retakes.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that we were talking about a bit, that the desk was very much setting up, was how is this Cypher going to come into play? Can they control the aggression from Scars with this double duelist? And frankly, the answer is widely been no. The trap wires cleared out at every twist and turn, whether it's the Trailblazers going through, whether it's just the players themselves, knowing exactly where the setup's going to be.
What is the weight of the mouse?
They've been able to effectively either circumnavigate or just completely plow through that Cypher utility to get themselves onto the site. And when it comes down to the fragging, Fancy just has not been there to match.
Exactly. There's been a couple rounds, yeah, sure, where Yes I Can, Izzy, and some others stood up, Jin as well. But that was it. It took some pretty heroic plays for them to keep themselves in any of the rounds. So they need to see if they can find some aggression themselves here, start setting themselves up for some of these kind of disciplined attacks that I think they like to do, is where they really like to stagger these smokes. Again, they kind of isolate the map, try to, like, if they're attacking B, for example, come through B main, a lot of times that toxic screen is cutting off just in front of the B plant site itself, and then you can use the Astra smokes and then even later on the Cypher smokes to kind of give yourself kind of isolated fights, one at a time. Dissect it, get the plant down, set it for post plants. My concern for Fancy is sometimes in their post plants, their crossfires and some of their protocols start to break down, and against the firepower of Scars, that cannot happen here today.
Jemkin started the half. Crystal finished it.
9-3.
Now eyes go over towards Jin to see if he can have a similar level of impact here on this attack. Trapwire setup. As we see a late flank. So for now, just a couple shots going to be sent through the smoke. Trailblazer will spot one. They're going to be sent down. Crystal anticipating some more forward pressure here. Flash goes through. Looks like he is going to be able to swing off the back of that one, but Jin shuts him down. Takes a bit of damage. There goes Blast packing forward, trying to clear the site. We see Yoshi. He's swung over. He's got himself situated in the smoke over towards screens. Allen now dropping onto the low ground. I think have been spotted. Yeah, they certainly have been.
Oh, you might see there's
very much overestimating just how deep that nebula was. Ends up getting taken out. Jin now on for a second kill.
His gun might be just peeking.
This is huge. Huge for Fancy.
Can they hold the line?
Oh, if you want to do a comeback, you must win the pistol round.
They absolutely will be able to.
And then anti-eco round.
Jemkin would have to come away with an ace. Double face down here on the ramp. We'll be able to get one, but yes, I can. We'll be able to finish him off. A pistol round pickup here to tie it at 1-1 in that regard. Fancy start the half off right.
Yeah, big pistol round win. Something that has been plaguing Fancy at times in this event. It's been those pistol rounds. So this one here, when they most need it,
buy a mouse at least at like 80 or 90 grand.
There initially, Jin.
Your aim will be way better.
Here in the crossfires, the protocols, that thing I was talking about before this round, very, very good.
50% better aim.
Here for Fancy.
If you cut off
really
60% of the weight of your mouse.
Just line them up, knock them down. Jin gonna go
buy
with
a better mouse first. What the fuck? 220 grams.
Bulldogs.
You out of your goddamn mind,
with
dude.
the Ghost for the purchase on the side of Fancy. And again, they have so many smokes here. This is what makes Fancy a really interesting team.
800 DPI.
Push up. Crystal noted, dealt with.
और Valorant की sensi क्या है?
Jin putting himself yet another kill here in this half. So spray through, widely suspecting that it's going to be somebody else lurking up into that position. Good counter spray off the back of the classic shots. They get a punish on the Tornado. Okay, looks like they're not going to be taking their chances. They're not going to be taking risks. And I like this from Fancy.
Yeah.
You break down this site. You suspect that the rotations have come through. They want to be able to play these three remaining players together on the side of Scars. Go over to B. You now have a pretty good idea that it's going to be empty.
Mouse के weight से ये फर्क पड़ता है.
This is just that great mid-rounding, that great shot calling by Yes I Can coming into play here.
आपके mouse ना जो left से right आप mouse move करते हो ना बहुत fast होगा.
Another good thing here,
you're avoiding that sheriff of Jemkin.
Don't want to get that involved in this round.
आप
don't want to take any more damage than you have to. And here's what I'm talking about. They love to use this wall to kind of clear out the space.
तो हाथ slow ऊपर उठता है ना और बिना डंबल के करोगे तो fast उठेगा यूं होगा, ठीक है? और ज़्यादा देर तक कर पाओगे ऐसे. Weight होगा तो थक जाएगा हाथ जल्दी. Fatigue होगी muscle.
He'll be well set up to go ahead and
ज़्यादा देर तक नहीं उठा पाओगे.
Looks like he is just going to go ahead and back away though.
I'm just telling you general things.
We'll allow them to get crept up just a little bit closer, so even if they just want to die to the spike,
mouse का weight, I guess अगर मुझे choose करना mouse का weight 50-55 ग्राम से ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. मेरा वाला 72 ग्राम्स का है. मुझे भारी लगता है. भाई तुम्हारा 220 ग्राम का है.
Fancy picking up the first two here in the second half. But can they get the bonus?
Get something around like 70 to 80 grams or 90.
The run back, the comeback,
70-80 grams.
It's looking a hell of a lot more likely.
Yeah, exactly. Just love the patience here, the discipline, the crossfires. When Fancy's at their best, it's when they're working together like this. Everyone kind of knows
around
their role,
1K.
What angle they need to be watching. They do a wonderful job holding down the line. And if for me, a big part of Fancy on this attacker side, if they can keep those protocols together, they can stay in those crossfires. They have a really good shot here to do some damage to Scars to really make this a map.
Monitor की बात है.
Around now. In the second half for Scars, fault line at the ready. Shots going across, but tailwind is is available, used. 45 HP remaining here from the side of Jemkin, and well, Yoshi is quite far away.
768.
He wants to rotate over, try to get some healing. It's going to take him a while, but a great swing out, Jin. Finding that kill right here in mid. Alan completely gone. Trailblazer will note one as the heals can now come through. Jemkin on the right side of the map, but does he rotate back over towards B? It looks like the answer is going to be yes. Meanwhile, all of Fancy stacked up in A-main. Flash in, gets the confirmation. Cyber Cage coming through, suspecting that the cross is going to be there, but he's just a little bit too late on that spray to try to find any kind of punish. Oh, Jemkin finding one. Now going to be full blind. Do they read that he's back? Flower pot. The answer is yeah. Dizzy spotting him again. I believe the Phoenix goes to the bottom of the nebula. Yoshi will be able to come away with two before he gets taken down. Still the man advantage here from the side of Fancy as the plant comes in.
30 seconds.
Paint Shells zoning Tornado back. Stops him from peeking out of the window. Crystal now. Paint Shells of his own, but as he tries to swing through, Jin
1v3
takes his head off.
1v3.
That puts Tornado now in a 1v3. TP forward onto the low ground. The first challenge here, the race, gets the instant headshot, swings the corner spot, one, but the counter swing is good. Physio out from behind the back of the screen.
Which team you are supporting?
Will get it done.
Well, it's definitely starting to look like Fancy was in the right to take both of their timeouts in that first half. Those attacker side has been very, very clean. And they're just so disciplined here. Everybody just, again, working as a unit, covering
I don't have
for
like
each
a
other.
preference, dude.
A big win there by Crystal out in the open.
This is the
just
first
swung
time
a little
I'm
too
watching
wide.
either
Crosshair
of
was
team.
just a bit off. Jin was ready for
I know
the
one
angle.
from Japan, other one from like
Fox better than Jin.
Vietnam or somewhere.
SBM. He's not playing this tournament.
Yeah, come on, man.
He's already in Pacific. Like how to knock Jin down like that, man. Well, Jin's been having a significantly better second half, so perhaps that sign will get rewritten by the end of it. I'll just say Jin's good.
Jin is playing very well.
We don't have to tear anybody down to pick somebody up.
That's right. Honestly, Fancy's playing great now. Everybody's starting to really look dialed in. Now you've got that showstopper available here from Jin. May or may not use it this round since it is an eco for Scars. You're able to get some orbs in the hands of Fisio, get closer to that Viper's pit. Only a couple away for him. So really here, Fancy taking their time, spreading the map, looking for any aggression from Scars. But Scars, very different in their eco approaches than Fancy was on the other side of the coin. Patience, diligence.
Look at the read, though.
They do.
The rotate over from Yoshi. They are very much suspecting that this is going to be a B hit. 4 members now creeping up into garage. Late lurk from Nizzy. But is it going to be too late? We'll have to see as they get ready to strike. Stinger. 2 Stingers, rather. In hand here. Jump up around the back. Doesn't check the corner. That Stinger will find value. Torneko finding one. He will get taken down. Fisio able to flush him out, but now still plenty of players out in front. As Allen will also find some value.
Yeah,
Frenzy range from Crystal gets the kill. Just get taken down by Heisey. And now a 2v1. Jemkin. Yep. The lurk will come through right as is necessary. It is not too early, nor is it late.
Everybody uses that red variant, doesn't it?
2 rounds. 4 consecutive here in the half. Very much mirroring the start that we had seen from Scars. The question is, does this finally draw out a timeout from the Japanese squad?
Yeah, I'm pretty curious to see if now they want to kind of re-aggress. I mean, this is a good read here by the side of Crystal and Scars. Crystal, the IGL, and they have they do a ton of damage. Now, the economy's still very strong for Fancy, so not the end of the world. Crystal is going to be looking to grab that operator, and indeed, it is a timeout that you're talking about. Probably talking about how they want to readjust here. Maybe, any aggression that Jemkin has tried on this side has been dealt with very nicely. They have their utility set up to be ready for those pushes out of garage or things like that from the side of Fancy. So far, they've been able to keep him pretty well in check on this half and really have had their run of the map so far.
See if they're going to be able to stabilize off the back of this. Obviously, the round win, if they can get it, puts them in double digits. Just 3 then steps away from being able to take this map. See if it's been good enough, though, because both teams have so far just looked very, very strong when it comes down to this attacking side, but it's been lacking on the defense. Very similar to what we were seeing when Scars was taking on D+. See if that's just going to continue to be a trend as we go throughout the rest of this and even deeper into the series with Bind on the horizon. Or if somebody's finally going to be able to get their footing on both sides. But out of the timeout, op in hand, Crystal is able to put that to relatively good use on the attacking side. Now he's got those defensive sightlines to work with, but no one is going to be giving him the time of day right now, at least not in this round, as we see everybody clustered up here at A.
Yeah, and a confirm there from Yoshi. One away from his Seekers. A lot of ults, but oh my god, Jemkin.
The showstopper now. Let loose instantly, sends it up towards heaven. Damage not going to be found, goes a little bit too deep. 1 for 1, the site taken. The plant now coming through. Right out in front, a risky position to take there for Jin, even with the smokes to cover. Nade from Crystal didn't find the punish. Widely, everybody's stuck. But they did get the little notification. They know that there is a flanker. Second around the back. Now, not really able to offer up too much help here to the rest of his team, aside from these Nebulas, these stars that he already has placed there onto the site. Flash down, Heisey looking to Swade. Crystal, though, swings the corner, finds Nizzy, scopes in, gets Jin. And now suddenly it's just Yes I Can, all on his lonesome. Ping's coming down. They read where he's at. Well, they certainly know now. Torneko looking to hold this stick. Swing out, this ult shot again going wide, but he just hasn't been able to get any contact onto the Omen. He'll hold it for the defuse. The kill comes in, and Yes I Can just has to back away into the corner. and hold on to his gun. Scars will finally stop the win streak. After giving up 4 consecutive rounds, they get that win. They take themselves now up to double digits.
This is a beautiful retake from Scars. The patience here. Yeah, Jemkin gets one, is instantly traded there at the very beginning. And after that, you can see that, you know, deep post plants here from the side of Fancy are well identified. Yoshi doing a great job kind of suspecting that Yes I Can is going to be back there by Sewers, using first that Trailblazer and then a flash to confirm, and a good opener here from Crystal. That operator able to be avoided at the beginning of the round for Fancy previously, this time connecting, doing some big damage. But Crystal, great on that retake with that operator in the previous round. Love what I'm seeing from Scars, being a little more disciplined here.
Oh boy. Ooh. Down with the judge, swing and Jin gets him in the head. Allen just completely shut down. Seeker's now going to be let loose by Yoshi, just trying to spot. There's going to be any kind of a super aggressive plays coming through. Seeker's in mid, however, just going to be cleared out.
The thing is, will they spot?
For now, his attention paid towards heaven. But with a quick call from Crystal, he's going to turn his sights down now towards main. Swing out ahead. Crystal gets the collapse. Perfectly lined up. The showstopper not going to be able to find the elimination. But the paint shells will further hold him back. Izzy completely denied entry. In the meantime, the lurk forward into the A site coming through. Izzy sounding the alarm, letting them know that it's cleared. It's going to be a 2v3 to defend this spike as it gets ready to get planted. Neural depth now going to be used as well, just to make sure that Izzy's going to be fine getting this spike over. He still has that rolling thunder. We'll see if it comes into play.
Still have a paranoia for Torneko. So a little bit of utility here for this retake for Scars.
Crystal. That KMC. Did it spot both?
There's no confusion about where Scars is right now.
Pushing forward. The pressure here onto the ramp. Is it going to be able to get the catch? It misses out onto Yoshi. Nizzy as well himself going to be stunned up. Tries to spray it down, but Yoshi comes to the rescue. Keeps Crystal alive, and Scars will get the back-to-back. So the defuse comes in. They're now just 2 rounds away from being able to take this map.
Couple of great back-to-back rounds here by Yoshi. Previously with his utility, this time around getting it done with the gun, getting ahead of that rolling thunder, and able to find a big kill. Nizzy with a big one on the flank there with that lurk, finding that opener, giving him the neural theft. But Yoshi, great reactions in this round. Some well-deserved fist bumps there. And he gets Scars along with some phenomenal work on the op from Crystal. 23 and 10 here for Crystal, having an absolutely phenomenal map.
They have enough to buy. Should they drop this one, it's not going to be kicked back onto a big detriment, but the flash goes in, but they are prepared for that one. It caught Jin from behind, so no full flash found whatsoever, and Jemkin gets punished. Monstrous pick now. Pit going to be used to try to go ahead and isolate Heaven and keep that under control of Fancy. They don't want to play within this one, but Torneko out in front, tries to spray, get some damage across, but it's going to be Izzy standing strong, finding himself a triple. Crystal now just has to hightail it away or creep his way out to hold on to that operator. Do not have to cash for another one going into the next round. Just has to allow this spike to detonate. Fancy will be able to persevere, deny Scars from getting this up the map point.
And I'm a little bit surprised to see this sort of flash peek play. I think Jemkin has been getting away with it a lot this tournament, where he's able to kind of do a hit and run. He gets one kill and he pieces out, but you know, with Fancy, a lot of the time on their attacker side, they're going to play together as a unit. Usually 4, sometimes 5 in this case, strong. And that flash not really able to fully connect with everybody on the side of Fancy causes Jemkin to go down, and then it's just W key forward for Fancy. Get in there, use that Viper's Pit to confirm control of A Heaven. And that really puts firm control of the whole side. I'd love to see this round from Heisy's perspective. He had a pretty nasty triple kill in there. And gets him 3 away from another rolling thunder. Yes, I can, 1 away from the Cosmic Divide. So let's see if there's some orb contention potentially early. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
He's punching their way through. We need more of that. 3 more to tie it up. And Scars have been able to keep them at an arm's length this entire time. Another round win here for the side of Fancy. That breaks the economy down It should allow them to get up towards 10 and see if they can get the win. For now, Pit right off the rip. Allen just setting that up in mid. Wants to make that completely unassailable.
And these A hits had been kind of strong, so a lean that direction for Scars early. But Fancy over towards the B side. And now they're shifting quickly as Scars. They're doing a pretty good job reading this early pressure so far.
Couple shots out, forces them back out of the garage, at least for the moment. Mid still such a tough position to try to break through. Seems like Wiley, they just want to cut noise, try to add some confusion into the mix, but with Crystal in this far forward of a position, watching that attacker's side, watching for anybody pushing up out of sewers, they're not really able to sell this.
Love this
as
read.
Nizzy's about to find out. He's holding the angle, playing it patiently. Eventually, the fly connects into the spider's web.
Now you know, they're all in B.
Oh, some shots across. That takes down Jin so very low. 21 HP remaining. Gets himself situated here in the back site. Paint Shell's going to be let loose. Almost caught with util in hand. Swings back, but Yoshi counter swings out. Finishes the job, getting the headshot. Yes, I can! A quick flick over to the side. Manages to find a third, but Allen will come swooping forward with the judge. Cleaning up two with Scars get themselves to map point.
This is just a beautiful round from Scars. The way that they read the rotations of Fancy is brilliant, and especially with Crystal holding that angle, taking that space, knowing that when Nizzy's on his own like that, everybody else is on the other side of the map, and immediately that's Torneko starting to just spray into B main. And with that mid presence from Allen with that judge, able to come in and save the day for Scars in the end. But everybody, it's all about the read there from Scars. They're doing a wonderful job here after those timeouts, getting themselves stabilized, putting Fancy now in a position where they could drop map 1.
Nizzy waiting for this aggression to come through. Here's the cam. Yoshi at the top of the ramp to play alongside this op if necessary.
Got that cosmic divide for Fancy here, so I'd like to see them put this to good use. Very powerful ult on this map. Really, again, you can potentially use that toxic screen over on the B. Try and draw some attention here over towards A. It's Nizzy over there with his utility, but with him just on his own, with no other utility on the side of A, that allows Scars here to start leaning back towards B. They're again, it's the lack of other utility, the other presence on the other side of the map that is allowing Scars to do what I thought was a pretty good job. They're shifting their weight back towards A.
And they have a decent rate, at least as far as the lurk is concerned, but
yes,
a bit too late to try to get the catch unless Yoshi can be the one to come up with it. Blast packs forward. Jin completely blinded up by the paranoia. Still, again, gets himself situated at backside. The boom bot once more going to be let loose. Jemkin can clear that. The paint shell's going to be good to land over towards Torneko. Jemkin, the one tap, manages to find Jin. The paint shells eventually do catch the enemy Omen and take him out of the equation. The man advantage now going to be there for the side of Fancy as the plant comes through. Rotation still being inched over here. Crystal, the paint shells at the ready, but again, the operator, not the most ideal weapon when you're trying to retake these sites. Nebula goes up, dissipates it, creeping in. What is that flick? Crystal finds Nizzy, now gets a second. Vizio take it out, yes I can, needs to be the hero. He finds the second, that's Jordy in his hands, jumps down, finds him, but he cannot get the operator out in time to try to get the quad, to try to finish the round. Fancy will hold on by a thread. They keep themselves afloat. Woo! What a shot from Crystal.
That was nuts.
Roll the replay.
Yeah, please. That was beautiful. But I'll watch this replay and then I'll give some thoughts. But I just good stuff here from Fancy, and that's just absolutely everything you want out of an opper right there. And another follow-up. Knowing he's on low health, switches over to the shorty. But it's again, yes I can, with some of these big multi-kill rounds where he's able to keep Fancy alive, keep him in it. But Scars kind of second-guessed themselves here. I thought they did a really good job reading this round with only the presence of the Cypher utility, and off with the over for Jemkin.
Okay, a quick start. Showstopper is out, but Yoshi just domes him from backside. Behind the screens, the flash is through. Doesn't confirm the kill, but Allen certainly does, and in the blink of an eye, there it goes. Unbelievable finish here from Scars. The eco round. Be damned, they get it done to take away Fancy United's map pick-up split.
Just a phenomenal performance here by Crystal. The IGLs on both sides having some magnificent rounds. But then at the end, Jemkin finally pulls out the Blade Storm. Didn't need
hell of a blink and you miss it way to round out that first map, but it seems like Scars were done playing around. They wanted to get it done. They wanted to just table this map of split and get ready to move on towards find their own map pick. Pressure now very much on the side of Fancy. It was a fantastic rally back given how things had started in that first half. They made it close. They made a great effort to push it back over against Scars, but just can't get it done in the end.
Yeah, it's a really impressive sort of mental comeback for Fancy. We haven't seen Bind from them at this event. The last time they played it, they dropped it in the grand finals of their region. So I like this pick by Scars in terms of trying to pick on a map that's maybe weak. Scars is going to play Bind a lot similar to how Paper Rex, when they have something in the mix, plays it with the Reyna potentially. So that's a scary map for me with the way that Scars plays. If Jemkin could come online, Crystal keeps playing like that, forget it, dude. I mean, they are so fun to watch when they're on.
I mean, we're talking about how, yeah, we're going to keep talking about Jemkin, I'm sure, throughout this map. He had a great start, and obviously some good moments there as well with that Blade Storm at the end, but it was the Crystal show through and through from that second half of the, well, that second bit of the first half all the way into the very end. Him with that raise, with that op in hand, absolutely devastating. And that's something that could also, again, come up here on Bind depending on what Scars want to put together. But seeing that Jet raise, that's something that very well could come through for the team. So a lot of pressure now on the Vietnamese squad to try to answer back and pick up their opponent's map pick. We'll see if they're going to be able to do that. But first, we got something special for you guys. We've got Komodo standing by with a telestration. Let's break down a couple rounds there from that first map of split.
Let's play some. Raja. Ooh. भिड़ेगा तो उठेगा जनाजा.
Match found. Forget that. Match found.
good taste, my friend.
And is he gonna start?
Go, go, go!
Let's begin.
I'm out of here.
That's not ready. That's not ready. So close.
Always using some different. Very fucking right.
So long.
Chamber head enter pull out way faster than normal classic, huh? Yeah. Way faster. Virgin. Look at this shift walking pussy. He sits there, walks and shift walks. What a virgin.
One less. Joke's over. You're dead.
Joke's over. You're dead.
The hunt begins!
10 seconds until stage change.
Gotta go.
So lucky.
Stage.
Gotta go.
Keep shift walking in your car.
Not your best. That's right. That works. Shield going out.
Take this.
Looking good.
My ult is ready.
One kill.
They are so dead.
Dominating.
Hi.
Where's that Reaver?
I'm out of here.
4 dead.
Take this.
I don't think so.
Oh, he's so ass. He's so try hard dog shit. Fucking Phoenix.
Go, go, go.
Teleport's ready. Do better.
कहाँ से मारा इसने मेरे को?
Kills remaining.
Who's throwing satchel at me? Oh my god, that I see why we're losing. By this bar. किसी ने दिया हर बार को भाई 1 किलो कसम से भाई किसने दिया है हर बार को 1 किल नोब्स चीचीज किसने दिया भाई हर बार को 1 किल मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ
It is. It's, you know, 1 or 2
Almost.
agents off from a very familiar and strange composition that definitely paid off on Bind. However, you know, I hope Fancy is able to bring up their mental, their confidence coming into this second match here at the second map. Scars is clearly super confident. I mean, you're putting your IGL on Raze like that and opping like a madman.
And once again, right? Continue to play on that Raze, you know, alongside the Reyna. So I think the confidence, like you said, maybe even to the point of disrespect, definitely on the side of Scars.
Surely, but still, I mean, you want to believe in this team because keep in mind, again, yes, they have a lot of pressure on their shoulders, but this is their game. This is their chance to take their place in Ascension Pacific because if they're out, that is it. There's no more chance for Vietnam for this year.
Yeah, you're right? We got to wait another full year for that potential chance here, and you got to imagine for the players that starts to maybe get into your head. But as you said, Victoria, this is actually the moment to not think about that.
Yes.
Just play the game that you prepared.
Have fun.
I like that they brought the Sky in, right? That makes that B long control a little bit more reliable. Now they can focus back on showers as well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm expecting to see some brilliant Sky plays here with Wukong stepping in, and you know what? Yeah, there's nothing left to lose at this point besides everything. So just go all out, Fancy, and I want them to have a much better game because that last map was not the strong showing. So let's see how it goes. We're gonna go into map 2, Bind. We got Fancy United versus Scars from Japan. We're gonna go over to our casters, Paper Thin and Achilleos. Please take it away.
Don't mind if we do. Yeah. Well, everything to play for now here for the side of Fancy United. They are on their last leg. Need to win here on Bind. Need to extend this over to Ascent if they want to stay in the tournament. Otherwise, as the desk was saying, that's it. That's the season over and done with.
It's going to be really interesting. I mean, a pretty similar comp to what we just saw on Split here. Now on to Bind, a very different looking Bind than what we saw from the last time out. So I'm going to be really keen on some of these big, you know, comp differences that we're seeing. The Cypher once again from Nizzy. Are they going to be able, you know, is Scars going to be able to do a good job of keeping track of his utility, doing a good job of dealing with it this time around? You have the Omen again, so those paranoias going to be very indicative potentially of kind of the intentions of Fancy. Are they going to be able to keep this Reyna in check is the real question, because to me, what really was impressing me with Scars on that previous map was their ability to react to the aggression of Fancy, their ability to have these protocols to back each other up, you know, particularly Yoroneko on that Omen. Now he's going to shift over to the Viper, of course, but they were doing a really good job of making sure that anytime there was pressure from the side of Fancy, there was instant reaction with their own utility to kind of keep it in check. And another thing for Fancy that started to break down towards the end of that map for me that I'm a little bit concerned about for them is they started giving some of those isolated duels like they were talking about on the desk to Crystal with that op, and yet he's just walking all over the map with it, doing a great job with it, of course, but you don't want to give those opportunities to the side of Scars.
And now he's right back in on that race once again. Jimkin shifting over off the Jet onto the Reyna. Still plenty of WK Gaming that can come through from there, but this is it for Fancy United. Need to win on this map, extend this into a 3-mapper, otherwise Scars are going to be moving forward tomorrow to play against Naos Esports and keep the dream alive of becoming the first team to ascend up into the Pacific League. Let's see if they can get it done with a 2-0 cleanly like the desk is anticipating, or if Fancy can trouble them along the way.
And it'll be Scars starting out on the attacker side all throughout these, if we go to a third map, all throughout 3 maps potentially. But I mean, again, I got to keep my eyes on Jemkin. He absolutely popped off against Bonkers the one time that Bind was played here for Scars in this event. Of course, again, we haven't seen Fancy on Bind just yet, so that does give them some advantage to kind of maybe set up some traps, maybe set up some unique plays here. Those Cypher utility, as we had, you know, like you pointed out, we had some reads from Scars where they were really able to identify it. Is that going to be as easy for them here early? Flash to confirm. This time, the trap wire and the camera are set out outside of B, but there's no heavy investment here with that spike back from the side of Scars. Check themselves, actually connects onto Wukong at the back of B. So that information may be a little misleading that there could be somebody in hookah when in fact, they're a little bit further back and just waiting to play off this Cypher utility.
Well, I believe they just, found the cam. No dart coming through, so eyes now down. Just the jiggle peek continuing here from Wukong. Wants to go ahead and check, hearing the footsteps over towards Garden. Cage comes up as well. Push out Nizzy. Able to find Jimkin. Takes him down nice and early. Spam across. Nizzy going to be good for another one now in third.
Spike down B.
Pistoling out with that Ghost. Yoshi in such a bad spot, sends out the pop flash, doesn't swing off the back of it, but the right click will not connect. And a flawless pistol round is one hell of a way to kick things off here on your opponent's map. Pick a bind.
Oh, I love to see this. The way Nizzy reacts instantly with that cyber cage absolutely shuts down this push here. A great flash from Wukong as well. The go key had already been pressed. The spot from Nizzy with that trap wire as well allows him to get the first. Doing a phenomenal job on the follow-ups. And then the reaction through the teleporter there cuts Yoshi off. Very well handled here by Fancy, and already we're seeing the impact of that Cypher. Gonna, again, a big, I think, piece of the puzzle for Fancy here. Not something you see all the time on this map these days, but absolutely. It's gonna catch again.
Same exact setup. Nizzy though, waiting. Spamming out there with that Vandal, does take a little bit of damage in reply, but turns around, finds Yoshi, getting the headshot. So far, it's just one player gone. Wukong on the floor. Blast Pack pushes it back, the double face around the corner. They get one across. Allen will be able to find him, put the Vandal down, but that can be recovered. They only get 2 kills and a spike plant, and Fancy will go ahead and get themselves a 2-0 start.
Yeah, and you can see here Scars' reaction this time around is to bait the utility a little bit this time and then just push at Nizzy. Just W key right at him. And they do eventually do enough pressure and enough damage to take him down. But of course, with the heavy firepower that Fancy's able to bring into this round, they are going to be able to clean it up in the end. But a little bit of an adjustment there from Scars does net them a few kills. So let's see what the change is going to look like here coming into this third round. They're going to be able to keep Fancy from finding a bonus. This time, Trapwire still at the front door of B, but now one back by Tube. A flash to check. Camera is going to go up in that top left location outside of B main. This time Wukong playing up underneath Hookah, but you got Crystal up in there.
It's quick clears, time and time again. Lear shut down instantly. Crystal swinging out, finds one. Yoshi gets another. That's the B site completely opened up. Quick TPs across. 2 players now outside of Hookah, getting ready to press forward. Spike planted there, the back of sight behind the tube. Crystal waiting. He's got a little bit of wiggle room around these sky smokes to try to play with. As Fisio pushing up. Suspects that there's going to be one back over towards elbow. Crystal just staying tucked. Now we'll advance forward back out into the site. Let's be able to play with the rest of the team. Dink across. Yes, I can, as well as Yoshi, both down to a sliver. 10v6 in the HP pools. But running out of time now is Fancy. Yes, I can will be able to find Yoshi. Bringing it back now, a 3v2, the man advantage in their hands, but the time has just dwindled. Completely lost out on that one. So they will still be able to claim all of the guns on the side of Scars, so they do not get away unscathed. The round win will be confirmed. No bonus conversion here for the side of Fancy, but no cash in the reserves here for Scars.
I like the way Scars plays the beginning part of this round, getting a player up into Hookah there, able to deal with Wukong pretty quickly with that cheeky position he tries to take underneath the window. And then, Fancy does a really good job here towards the end, kind of dissecting these post plants. They're really aware that Crystal is going to want to push into that smoke that's down by the alley, and they're able to, like you said, drop all the guns. Yeah, they don't get the round, but still, clearly Fancy has a pretty good idea of what Scars is trying to accomplish post-plant, and they're doing a good job dissecting it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best results you could hope for in a bonus that you're losing.
Yes.
Take everything out of them to stop them from being able to build up their econ, which is what they so desperately want to do on the side of Scars. So now it's going to take a couple additional rounds if they want to be able to build it up. Now they turn the sights over towards A for the first time. Bite, very nicely done, gets the read, and as he gets flushed over to the side, Jimkin's good for the headshot. As he now gone, the plant coming in. The creep bomb looking to try to disrupt it, and he will! Fisio striking at the perfect time, the spike now planted. Crystal holding with the judge, paint shells to further delay. They have grabbed the spike, and they're going to go ahead and take that TP. Just completely dip out.
Jin's so close. That was a huge opening kill for Scars. They got the neural theft down, but then Fisio unaccounted for in showers.
Brutal shutdown. Spike, however, still going to be planted.
Spike planted.
A 4v3 for the retake. Fancy certainly favored here. Crystal trying to hold close, put that judge still to use. Just waiting, hearing the footsteps. Allen clears the first one. He wants to swing off the back of this, finds it. Oh no, spots the other. Tries to draw down with the judge. Doesn't do it fast enough. Paranoia does come across. Yoshi still able to get the kill, but does he have the read? They now know where each other are. Yoshi takes the challenge and comes out on top. One man left standing, still no econ build up here for the side of Scars, but they've helped break down the cash reserves of Fancy as they tie it at 2-2.
And a great mid-round recovery by Scars after that devastating double kill from Fisio to peace out, get over to B. And yeah, Jin was hot on their heels. It's a great play, catching him right in the plant. Jemkin there just not able to react. And Crystal there, a little bit of a
panic.
A little bit of a panic. Trying to maybe, I think, go for the gun grab. Didn't maybe expect another player there, but this is what makes Scars difficult. They change their post plan here where they all just flood into the back of the alley and just completely smother Fancy out of their attempt at that retake. This is something Scars love to do. They love to push angles on post plants. It makes them really challenging. They're able to get a lot of isolated duels like that or put opponents in bad positions because of the way that they like to get aggressive.
Camera cleared out.
There.
Suspecting the trap wire, pinging it, just couldn't quite get it through the wall. He's got a very good idea now of how Nizzy likes to play this setup. Sheriff in hand, swings out wide enough just to be able to clear the trap wire. Still not enough though for Fancy to start shifting. Spike getting picked up, will start moving over towards B site though.
And Nizzy's other trap wire set up, I think, potentially for a blast pack entry from Hookah. It's not going to be the direction right now that Scars is leaning. They are going for a full-on long B push off the back of these Seekers.
Made to go ahead and try to shove somebody back. Orbital strike, even thrown down. Will be able to help get the catch on the Wukong. Crystal gets the finishing shot. Plant now.
30 seconds left.
Available. Jin. Oh, I believe the gun barrel spotted. Peeked out just a little bit too wide. Ends up getting taken down, 28 HP. Dart going to be removed. 4v5, the lesser weaponry here to try to get the retake. Everything's going to come down to Nizzy with that headshot over in elbow, but for now, Jemkin finds one, pops that Empress. Nizzy is good for it, takes out Yoshi, but the time continues to tick. Yes, I can. Gets Tora and Echo. The neural theft, however, going to be committed, but it's far too late. The rest of his teammates have now fallen. His shoulder's been spotted, and Crystal will finish him off. 3 members left standing. Now as Scars get their 3rd round win, they take the lead.
This is a good start to the round here for Scars, able to clear that opening trap wire, kind of identify that the front part of the site is going to be open. So the combo there of 2 big ultimates give the base they need to get in here, get the job done. And yeah, like you said, the neural theft there, the side of Nizzy. And hey, of our Paper X boys, Sleepy and Alex, cheer from the cloud. Although Sleepy will be parting ways with Paper X.
Uh-oh. Showstopper, dueling rockets, but it's going to be Jin, who manages to stay afloat. And Crystal takes. It's B. A bit of a change up now in the setup here for the Cypher. The cam in a different position. Cage already going to be used. Molly in the back sight to try to zone him back. Tripwire taken out by the position to go ahead and get a very swift retake. Is he just playing this one out as patiently as he can? Plant down on top of the 2. Neck and neck, 3-3 as Fancy take the round.
Just a beautiful retake here from Fancy. The opening aggression through identifying that a lot of the attention here for the side of Scars is towards B. And they're able to get some space early round, win the missile duel outside of Showers by the teleporter. And then they have the counter Viper's Pit. You know, I don't necessarily, I thought maybe they'd put the pit right on the site itself, but again, Scars likes to get aggressive. They on these post plants. They like to try to cut you off, maybe at a little bit of unexpected angles, but that gives the opportunity for Fancy to counter with a Viper's Pit of their own. Now, the long line up here from Toroneko. It's a little bit of a shorter buy.
Slide up over the top, but Jin just mows down 3 here. One after the other, falling to the enemy raise. Still maintains his high ground. Yoshi creeping across the opposite side, does not get noted. But this round is over. As Fancy do not want to allow for Scars to have the lead, even by a single round. Allen creeps up just to go ahead and receive some healing. They'll see what damage they can deal. As they might just look to double face here down short. Jin could very well find himself an ace. Flash is into the box, doesn't find it. Counter spray nearly clips him in the head.
Love the way that Yoshi kind of understood that that flash didn't catch anybody. Immediately spammed through that box, knowing that the angle could be held by Jin, and didn't connect, but still good awareness from the side of Scars in that moment. And another great round here from Fancy. Jin just kind of expecting maybe a fast push, able to get up on top of that truck, unfettered.
30 seconds left.
Unbothered. So Allen gonna take a consolation prize here. Fisio not really able to do much about this. I was kind of curious how aggressive Fancy might want to get. A few players with enough cash so they could potentially get aggressive if they wanted to try to take guns away, and they are going to now start pushing the pace.
Yeah, they spotted them both there. Heard the gunfire with the Trailblazer.
10 seconds left.
Flash out to try to dissuade the chase. Just a couple more seconds to try to survive here from the side of Scars, and given the positioning, I don't think that they're going to get punished. Should be okay. As they just get tucked up against the wall. So 2 rifles going to be handed or carried over into the next round, but Fancy established themselves with a minor lead once more, now at 4-3. Take a look at how this all began. Just such a quick clear on the Lear, and Jin just makes it look easy.
Ooh. Just nasty stuff. You know, just immediately start spraying on the back of that utility, anticipating a push from the side of Scars and doing a great job getting that spray right where it needs to be. Now, not too many ults to speak of. Allen a couple away from the orbital strike. Yeah, you've got the TP from Yes I Can. Wukong playing pretty aggressive. Cypher switching over Shower's control, attempting to be taken here. Fisio pushed way up. It's a potential duel with Jemkin coming up. A flash here is the other members of Scars trying to get their way in towards B, but
okay, back over at Showers.
Yep.
Jemkin pushing forward. Spots one. Makes Nizzy hightail it. Tucked away in the back. The crates. Shell clear forward. Paranoia across. They're going to try to exit. Oh, that blast packet disrupts him on the swing. Wukong can find no value. Crystal shuts him down with a couple of classic shots to the head. But now it looks like they're thinking about going for the TP play. Bubant around the back. Jin spotted Yoshi. Gets that elimination. For now, just cuts out. TP across. The spike now going to get ushered over towards A.
Just Nizzy over here right now. Yes, I can. Trying to hightail it over. Nizzy just seeing if anybody's going to push past, but with those smokes here, Sight should be able to come through. But okay, Nizzy's going to get aggressive.
Well, he's down to the opening. Will allow for that spike plant to come through. Want to wait for Yes I Can to really get in a position to try to play off of his information. Trade him out. The cam is going to be spotted. Creep forward, the double stack here. Yes I Can covering fire. As he drops down off of heaven, finds one, but it's not ready for Torneko to be over into the corner. Ends up falling, and now the swing out comes through. A team ace's Scars will not allow for Fancy to stretch the lead. They will tie it up once more, now at 4-4.
Playing great recovery here, and Jemkin out on his own, able to win a big duel against Fisio, and that's a ton of information and space that he's able to create off the back of this. Suspecting some kind of lurk there and able to use that dismiss to avoid the follow-up from Nizzy. And that's huge there, because that allows a safe rotation. Good awareness from Scars and Yoshi there on the lurk from Jin. Scars with some really good adjustments in that round. Really good read of where Fancy wanted to be on the map. And again, so much of that comes off the beginning of that round from Jemkin. And a good trade up into the hall, that blast pack allowing to get that first kill as well for Scars. So
it's just brutal for Wukong.
It is. It's tough to come in here, man, like that.
Yeah. Seems like we might just have a timeout. We'll wait for confirmation. Keep our fingers crossed that that's the case, and then we don't have any kind of issues there on the stage. And it looks like it is going to be the latter. So a little bit of a tech pause. You guys get to enjoy the Achilles and Paper Thin podcast.
Here we go.
We still got plenty to talk about with the game, so we don't have to get into the movie talk quite just yet. But neck and neck, I mean, this has been a much better showing. What we wanted to see here from Fancy United right from the outset, firing back, picking up and taking the lead in regard to the pistols, actually.
Yeah.
As they now have a 2-1.
No, I really
Hello,
the way that they're showing a lot of different looks. Round-around adaptations are good. Both teams are making good adaptations, frankly. But Fancy, you know, with this Cypher, it is causing some problems. It has given them some really big rounds. But with
How are you, Sabine?
Well, hopefully we'll be getting back into the action here momentarily. See players moving mice, so that's always a good sign, and looks like we are ready to go. It's a minor hiccup, but we can continue onward. And so far, we're talking about the run back here from Fancy looking strong off the rip. Jin having a much better beginning to this map compared to what we saw from him on Split. Speaking of which.
Two ops here, Achilleos.
Beacon here.
One on Crystal, one on Nizzy.
Definitely a big change up here as Nizzy's going to be positioned up over here at Heaven. Staring over, spots one, tries to go for the flick shot, not going to be able to connect that one. Now they know that there's an op here situated. And Smokes completely obfuscating everything though. Now has to just pull away, wait for the teammates to go ahead and get into a flank position, which right now they are. Flash around the back, they'll confirm it, but Chan just instantly domes Yoshi. Paint shells sent now towards Lamps. Allen not ready for Jin to be as close as he was, ends up falling. The round is falling apart here for Scars. The hold down, Torneko desperately trying to get that spray. Won't be able to find a damn thing. Jemkin's gone, and that's Crystal now just inching away as quietly as he can, holding onto the operator dearly. The chase will come through, the jump across, the shot, not connecting, double blast pack. Crystal puts some distance between he and the opponents, but still is getting surrounded. But the timer ticks down just fast enough for him to get away, hold on to the gun. But it's Fancy who again do not allow for Scars to retake a lead.
And this is just beautiful stuff here from Fancy, really utilizing this Cypher very nicely. Even though the trap wires don't really come into play, he's able to hold up there, kind of bait Scars into taking this site, and that is just a full-on push through short from the rest of Fancy. Then they're able to use that toxic screen to cut off Lamps. And then Allen is left in a really bad spot there. Not sure if somebody's going to be coming from shower or the other side. And he has to kind of try to keep his head on a swivel to try to cover both those angles. Not able to do so.
जल्दी तो इससे पहले कि मैच खत्म हो जाए.
A beautiful round. Beautiful. Love the way that this is drawn up from the side of Fancy. It's really, really smart stuff there. A really kind of unique play that you'll almost see nowhere else in the world with the way that they handled that round, with the way they set that round up. That one, could be a good one for Komodo. Just saying, I don't know where he's at. But
watching from the green room, I'm sure. But Scars, for now, forced to use the first timeout. A very different story from what we saw on Split, where it was Fancy in desperation, having to use both timeouts in that first half. And they're feeling the pressure. They want to be able to close out this half with the lead. See if that is going to be the case, but for now, Fancy just having really good reaction times when it comes down to just these flanks. The spike's coming through, and they already have two people pushing up short, getting ready to swing around from behind. And Scars is not necessarily reading how much pressure they're actually under. You saw Allen not paying attention to that push after losing out on Yoshi. Thinks that he's got a little bit more time, can go ahead, watch over towards back sight, and then all of a sudden, Jin's right up on him.
And that's what makes that toxic screen that they use there so beautiful, because it makes it so hard for Allen to know where the hell he's got to look. And now you've got the showstopper here for the side of Jin. Orbital strike in Allen's hand. Torneko, couple away from a Viper's pit. Yoshi went away from a Seeker. So kind of curious if there's going to be some aggression towards these orbs early. Trying to keep some of these ults out of the hands of Scars, potentially.
Surely he doesn't. Okay. It's just going to swing in.
What if he just bangs this wall?
I mean, it would be nasty, but Crystal's shown that he does have that kind of game sense. Instead, it's just going to be the paint shells and trying to clear back sight. Takes out that trap wire. The swing coming through. Shot going to go wide, but there's the TP.
Damn, look at that.
TP out. Manages to stay safe. The showstopper now drawn out, but Allen covering fire will be able to get the punish and stop that rocket from getting let loose. But now they're frazzled. Not sure where to go. So they're going to start drifting their way back over towards A, but Fancy, for the time being, have the right read. They're already counter-rotating here with Yes I Can, as well as Wukong getting into position to try and reinforce Visio.
That pinch play was so beautiful from the side of Fancy. Let's see if they can convert.
It's the second Lear now used. They realize they have no presence in showers at the start of the round, and that this can be a position, but covering fire is not there, but somehow Torneko still manages to win out the fight. Shot across, Yes I Can, catches Jemkin in the head, knows that Torneko's just around the corner, but the pit still comes in. He manages to stay safe for now. 3 players left. Nizzy now just arriving, but Wukong's gone. The operator is still in this Cypher's hands. Pushes into the smoke. Torneko instantly latches onto his head. Yes I Can, likely to just drift over, grab the operator and hightail it the hell out of here. See if he's going to even do that. Pit gets dropped, and seems like he thinks it's still a bit too risky to try to go for it.
They'll just back away. I know, right? What the fuck,
they do have cash. They can afford another one. The spike will go off, and Scars off the back of the timeout will tie it up at 5-5. Once again, these teams seemingly inseparable.
Yeah, again, just great ideas from Fancy, but it's one little moment where Fisio's not able to win this duel against Torneko. That sends the round into a spiral because it gives Torneko the ult. He was 2 away, got the plant, got the kill, gets the Viper's Pit, and then the round changes. Yeah, I love the trap play at the beginning. A good reaction with the orbital strike. And then a big step up from, I believe it was Allen on the back of his orbital strike to make sure that that showstopper from Jin wasn't able to do any damage there. Very much helping Scars out in that round for sure, but again, Fancy is just beautiful ideas. And now you can see why they, pushed Wukong up there to try to trap that operator, doing a good job of reading of where Crystal wanted to start working, and Crystal back at it, and already space being taken through short A by Fancy.
American
checks forward, is wary about that quick pop on the teleporter once again, but now it's going to be Crystal looking over for Jin, gets tucked away. The teleport comes in, he's going to be spotted. Yoshi finding one back over to the side. Wukong now going to be taken down. Crystal wins out the fight against both. And that's just Nizzy and Fisio now left alive, and Nizzy is already in such a committed position.
Corner
can do nothing else but die. The swing, Fisio nearly finding Jemkin, but a flawless comes through as Scars will take the lead. 6 rounds locked in here on the attacking side. Last round and a half. Will it be a 7-5, or will we keep it neck and neck with a 6-6?
And this is a great adjustment here from Scars on that previous round. They put pressure into Uka, but this time Crystal backs off into this corner. And Yes I Can never checks it when he comes through. I don't think that toxic screen was up. I'm not sure if it was or not. We didn't get to see, but I don't think it was ever up. I just don't think he checked the angle. And that gives Crystal, with that minor adjustment, to backpedal, put himself back towards the market, find that huge double kill. And now Fancy trying to see if they can catch somebody putting pressure here, but Scars not falling for it.
With a really good idea of where he's at, but Yoshi on screen catches the double push down to be long. The collat to instantly give them such a monstrous advantage here in the last round of the half. Nizzy desperately setting out that dart, trying to find something. Jin with a lurk forward, will be able to get Yoshi. Brings it back now to a 4v3, but still a detriment that they have to try to work through, but one that works beautifully as Nizzy finds the pick, playing off his trap wire to perfection. Neural Theft getting the reveal. Remembers trying to hold as the second ping comes through. Wukong swinging the corner, spots Torneko on the jump across. The flash in around the corner, the double push coming in. Jin catches him from the flank. Allen now gone. It's all on Crystal. He's got an operator. They get themselves in onto this spike. Held to half. The Cyber Cage comes up and Jin will spray through. We will be tied up 6-6. Fantasy says you are not getting away from us. Not quite yet.
Oh, this is just a beautiful round from Nizzy in particular with that Cypher. Finally, those trap wires that he had been planting in between the boxes in the truck get some value. What a shot from Yoshi.
But it didn't matter.
Did not. Fancy just doing a great job. Cyber cages having huge value here for Fancy there. And again, it's that extra layer of smokes that Fancy likes to play with in this round that gives them the ability to really secure and isolate those last couple of kills. Just beautiful stuff. I got to give Nizzy a ton of credit. Love the way he played a couple of those rounds in that app. Really threw Scars for a loop. Who's next?
It's gone for the Yoru, but seems like today it's just going to be completely Cypher-pilled.
I kind of wondered if coming into this map if he might try it, because we saw it on Pearl, right? But, you know, maybe they try to take a page out of old Forsaken's book, but not to be. And frankly, I love what I'm seeing from Fancy. I love what I'm seeing from both teams. There's been phenomenal adjustments round to round. Every time, it's like somebody makes a move and there's a counter move from the other side. And minor adjustments here and there. You know, Scar's trying to deal with these quick lurks, these fast rotates from the side of Fancy, and sometimes working, sometimes not, because Fancy is so unpredictable sometimes, and they do such a good job of getting information off the back of Nizzy's utility that they're able to make really good mid-round adjustments, mid-round calls, and find great timings.
I mean, it's been night and day as far as the value off the Cypher is concerned here between Split now here in the bind. Nizzy very much involved, but Jin as well, seemingly treating that first map as a bit of a warm-up, finds himself at 16-6-0. He doesn't believe in assists.
A true duelist.
If I shoot at you, you're dead or I am. There's no in-between.
This looks like a pretty fast hit from Fancy.
I mean, that's a big jiggle right there from Alan. Getting a lot of information, spotting a lot of players. Will help shove him back. He gets a little bit of damage across. Wukong going for maximum assist. Has the heals there to go ahead and top him back up. Flash around the side. Jin gets the timing. Will find Alan, but they've already lost out on 2 players. Now a third as Jeffkin will come up with a double. There's a cannon, Nizzy, though. Continue to fight back. Sliver of HP here for the Omen carrying the spike. With 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining, they can play around with this time. I'm curious to see what they cook up.
Bet.
Could just be a shift walk, honestly, all the way back over towards B.
Well, they might just wrap back in through short A here. Kind of see what they want to do. Smoke out over on the right side of A.
Scars are having none of it.
Yeah, they're planted. They're not moving until something gives them more indication. Yoshi sending one of his flashes even into their own spawn to check. Really not sure. A player of Fancy unaccounted for.
I mean, is this just a check behind and then a shift back to A? It looks like that's going to be the answer. Just want to make sure that there isn't going to be that flank lurking right around the corner, waiting for that spike tap to come through. With Ghosts in hand, though, this is still a very winnable position for the side of Fancy, despite Yes I Can having only 10 health.
Only classics, yeah, for Scars.
Smoke comes down. The plant now in.
Classic versus Ghost.
Left. Nizzy
so
taking the forward position, needs to win out the fight. Gets that dink across, and Yoshi can just run and gun the right click to be the finisher. Picking up the Ghost, picking up the pistol round win to tie it up at 2-2 in the series, and give Scars the lead once more.
Yeah, Scars here backpedaling off this aggression early from Fancy, understanding that they were going to be at a numbers disadvantage. Trying to play back behind these boxes. Let the Reyna do Reyna things. Dismiss all over the place. Never able to get a Devour to come through, taken down before any other utility. He's able to really kind of snowball those rounds. You see that all the time in these pistol rounds with Reynas, where they can just heal their way through the round. Makes Reyna one of the most difficult agents to go against in officials. Hey, Tosh.
The force up. A big risk to be taken here from the side of Fancy, but they want to try to catch Scars off guard, so they go ahead, they buy all the way down. 2 Stingers, the rest Spectres, but Alan finds first blood, and now he's got confirmation that they at least bought a couple of weapons. Trying to buy some space, a bike goes out, they'll push across the toxic screen, but up here on Heaven is Crystal. Spots one, guns him down with the Bulldog, now sends the paint shell, the beautiful timing to force Nizzy back.
ये अलग ही गन लग रही है यार, FAMAS लग रही है बुलडॉग.
Yoshi quickly trades it out. Boombot getting the spot. Nizzy with 32 HP and a dream will fall, and that's going to be the Vandal now. Recovered. The Scars move up by 2.
The gamble doesn't pay off here for Fancy. It's just, again, the Scars plays this a lot like you're going to see Paper X kind of play this. Not quite exactly the same comp, but very similar comp. Of course, you have a Harbor in there for Paper X, but immediately it's a fallback. They want to play behind these boxes. You want to give Reyna an opportunity to use those dismisses to cause disruption, and the timing and the understanding by Crystal here, so smart, doing such a good job here today on this raise. Immediately with that paint shells, like you mentioned, to keep Nizzy at bay, isolate these fights, and just stalwart, not thwarted at all, and great gunplay, as we expected from Scars coming into this match. So Sheriffs abound for Fancy, close to the neural theft for Nizzy. Big ults
बंडल है ना उसमें
potentially coming
CS
for
के और
Yoshi,
कॉर्ड के
couple
गन दिए
away
थे
from that Seekers. We'll see how Fancy wants to try to turn this half on its head.
I mean, getting a Sheriff thrifty round right here would be a miraculous turnaround.
तीनों कैसे भाई एक ही जगह देख रहे
Now
हैं
just continues to jiggle. Looks like Fisio trying to get the timing there to just be able to take him out. Shot does go into his shoulder, so knocks him down to 82. Still far cry from having the kill. Meantime, Torneko jiggling on the corner. Trailblazers are going to be cleared. Or the bite to go ahead and try and delay. Boombot and Nate are available from Jin, so he can clear out Hookah, which right now does have a double stack. Jimkin looking to reinforce the position.
30 seconds.
Going to start working their way forward. There's the push in, the instant headshot. Torneko finds a third.
Holy shit.
Down to the
Oh
classic.
my.
It's going to be a 4K.
ये था वो
They will not allow for the thrifty to come through. Scars now moving up by 3. Another buy can come in from the side of Fancy. But again, it feels like they're running out of time. They're running out of options.
Just beautiful. I mean, the flash goes past him, able to readjust, and Wukong steps in and has a couple targets to look at. The backup had arrived. It's something to cheer about for sure if you're a Scars fan. Huge play from Torneko, locking it down for Scars. Just right now, another pump of the brakes, another pause. This Fancy needs to find success off of this round, it feels like. You know, they tried the force buy, so certainly likely to lose that third round then if that doesn't come through. I like the idea. I mean, again, I like a lot of what Fancy is bringing to Bind here today. I love their defender side. I love the way they played it. I love that they go, I honestly like the idea that they go for that unexpected, force buy on round 2. Frankly, that caught me off guard. I wasn't, really thinking about it. And that pressure, certainly you can feel it. But at the same time, that's not something a lot of teams will do under pressure like that. They won't go into something unexpected in that moment. But again, Scars just so stalwart, so good with their gunplay, so willing to peel back off of this early aggression from Fancy. Again, something that I've been talking about a lot here for Fancy is they like to play as a unit on their attacker side. They're a very kind of 4 or 5 players at a time. Maybe Nizzy's out on his own on the Cypher, kind of lurking around the map a little bit. But Scars has done a good job reacting to and adjusting to that, understanding that when the pressure comes from Fancy, they can fall back a little bit.
Like what?
Give Reyna the opportunity, or somebody else the opportunity to find that kill. Let Jemkin start doing his thing. Let Crystal start locking players out. Couple Bulldogs, Spectre for the side of Scars. Now that buy comes through for Fancy. Can they put it to good use? Can they keep themselves in this map?
Chubby.
Looking to up the pace a little bit here. The blade lurk from Nizzy. Full flash connecting onto Jin. Has to just stay tucked for a moment, but as he goes ahead and blinks, he sees Torneko swinging out in front of him. Finds that kill. Bit of a lack of awareness there from the Scars Viper. He's taken down nice and early. Now the neural step going to be invested as Nizzy arrives to the site. Trailblazer spots Jin holding forward. The rest of the team completely scouted. And Jin finds back-to-back headshots to get himself a third elimination. And that sends the 2 duelists packing back to spawn. Hightailing it as fast as they possibly can.
That was a good push.
And in a must-round win, Fancy looked to do it in flawless fashion.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here from Fancy. Again, catching Torneko off guard, something that I've been crediting Scars for earlier. Does a good job kind of backpedaling off the pressure, but this time Fancy able to find the timing to get ahead of everything. Just really, really nice stuff from them. Crystal here has a trapwire on the other side. Could potentially be played off of here by Fancy.
It's just going to stay tucked alongside of it, it would seem. As the spike will explode. Looks like Nizzy not going to give him the opportunity.
Smart.
Yeah, kill not going to be found. Made the right decision. And when they need the most, they go ahead, they get that round win. Still, though, economy to work through. Scars
consistency
multiple buys. As I just saw another operator getting scooped up here, but take a look back. I mean, Jin goes for the entry, but Torneko seemingly hearing the blast packs, just not reading that he was going to be right there alongside the tube. Ends up falling, and that's just the site broken open, and everything falls apart there from Scars.
And now some reinforcements on the B side of the map, but right now it looks like a bit of an A-lane for the side of Fancy. Looking for some aggression out of showers. Jemkin, with that Reyna, can be a real nuisance in that space, but he's also pushing back as Scars is not too sure what to expect. Sure, you know, you've got Fountain somewhat under control, but yes, I can. I think kind of expecting a push out, but Crystal with that op, likely, I think, to just hold this angle until there's some kind of presence towards the other side of the map. Flash to check showers. Nobody home for the side of Fancy. Let's see if they're going to shift their weight over towards the B side. Certainly looks that way.
He's got the Seekers. He's going to go ahead and use them now. He's going to be heading their way across, trying to chase through the link. Won't get cleared out, but holding on the ankle. Crystal not good for it. Nizzy takes his head off, puts that up right on the ground. And with that pick, they're more than happy to drift away over towards the A site. Scars, however, getting a sense of this. They full send their 4 players, but Jemkin is now the front line.
Recon.
If he can come away with a kill, even up the numbers, be good for him, but as the paranoia crashes across, he sends out the leers and just looks to disconnect. The swing on the corner, Jin finds the kill, still gonna be stunned up, swings back through Torneko, gonna be good for 1. Up close and personal is, yes I can! And he finds 2 as Wukong gets the cleanup. Fancy now, touching distance, 1 more round to get us tied once more.
A huge punch back from Fancy. Nizzy just comes from an unexpected angle. Just not able to react in time is Crystal. Normally he's been quite good with that operator here so far today, but this time around sneaks right underneath him. Crystal expecting a different direction, and Jin here, a lot of utility exchanged, able to get the better of it, and yes I can. Certainly living up to his name. And now things
अब स्प्रे करना कम हो गया है लोग।
जब
से इन्होंने गन में गोलियां कम करी है ना, बहुत कम स्प्रे करते हैं।
Bank account is huge. Jin with a showstopper. Paranoia.
Not hitting. Jin gonna be taken down. Jemkin takes a dismiss, drops out the back sight. Yes, I can. TPing forward. Is this red? Swings out, and no, it is not. Jemkin fallen. Allen gone. Yoshi with a pop flash looks to try to turn the tides, but he only gets 1. A 2v3 as the rotation comes through, the pit having to be abandoned. Nade up over the top. Crystal trying to find something, but it's nowhere close to the plant spot.
मेडल में तो करते नहीं स्प्रे पर कोई फैंटम ज्यादा यूज करते नहीं आजकल वैसे ही गोली करो। हाँ यार वेंडल की गोली कम करने का पॉइंट नहीं बनता था। वेंडल में तो वैसे भी कोई स्प्रे नहीं करता।
Could even continue to rotate, swing himself up into hookah to give them
पॉइंट तो है तेरी बात।
punishing crossfire.
यार फैंटम की गोली कम करो समझ में आता है। वेंडल की करके क्या फायदा? वेंडल में तो वैसे कोई स्प्रे नहीं करता।
Brings it now to parity. 2v2, but they're running out of time. Out the window, yes, I can tag down low.
इन्हें डर ये होगा ना कि अगर वेंडल की गोलियां कम नहीं करेंगे तो लोग फैंटम लेना ही छोड़ देंगे।
I'm a little bit surprised that Scars went for this retake. The money again, a little bit.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, a little bit. So I thought maybe they might just grab that because they threw that poison cloud down right on top of that vandal.
वैसे भी रेशियो बहुत ज़्यादा है वेंडल का।
They went for it, and you know, especially if you get that kill on the Nizzy, then you think there's maybe a hope when you've got it down to that 2v2. But yes, I can. So stalwart for the side of Fancy. They're having a wonderful laugh, and look at those ultimates.
Yeah.
Just about everything other than the neural theft. And a timeout has to be taken here by Scars. Short on cash, but we've seen that they can do a good job. With those lower buys, of course, Salt in the very last round of split. No Blade Storm, of course, but still, Jemkin not finding a ton of damage with this Reyna.
Yeah.
So far, a bit of a quiet day from him, so credit where credit's due to Fancy. They've done a great job shutting down that stellar duelist who has been just a nightmare for so many teams in this tournament.
It's a smoker, controllers.
And Jin is just having a whale of a time. Continues to find kill after kill in these rounds.
वही controllers लेंगे Phantom.
Just put up such solid numbers to be such a solid entry figure here for the team in this attacking half. It's been absolutely instrumental for them to now be in this position and force out the second and final timeout here on Bind from Scars. But so far, they've been good about converting rounds off the back of timeouts. With this bye, it does feel a bit similar to what we saw them with ending that first map. Can they get the round win to once again regain the lead with a couple of Buckies and a hero rifle?
And Crystal's one away from the showstopper, so who knows, a Bucky kill into a showstopper?
Oh, the swing out. Got the Tink cross onto one, so Wukong down to 56 with some unhealable damage, but it's not the kill that they would so desperately want, and that's the rifle now stranded away from the rest of the players.
I've got your trail.
Yoshi does have that back from that. As Crystal just zoned into the corner, completely blind. Nate, however, will find Nizzy.
Fandel का clean दिखता है, Phantom का नहीं दिखता, पता चल जाता है Phantom का भी.
Now to try to flush this out, and he's going to use it.
इतना नहीं है.
Jumping forward, sends it in the corner, and he gets two! Jin Wukong dead!
हाँ, Vandal का ज़्यादा पता लगता है.
Accidentally kill him off with his own snake bite in the confusion. But now they've got the two remaining players zoned back here into the shower. No tap on the spike quite just yet. 3 players strong. This is possible, but they have to get on this soon. Time starting to dwindle. The swing out. Allen moves his way forward. Yes, I can. Sprays down for 2. Looks for the third. Will get it.
Jesus.
Damn close, but Fancy will be able to go ahead and take the lead. Now 10-9. Staying afloat, staying alive in this series.
Love the way Fancy draws up this round. You can use that Viper's Pit to secure that southeastern corner of the A site. And then the Odin to spam through the wall as well. A smart play here from Crystal to eat the Seekers, to not reveal the presence of that Bucky. Gets the showstopper, gets a big double, gives some hope to Scars in the round. But then it's yes I can.
Yes I can.
So many impactful rounds here in the last couple. A little bit of showers pressure being shown once again.
Flash into the corner, not going to be spotting anything. Jemkin trying to play around that one. It's the swing out. He's going to be good for one. Oh boy. Basically the final frame before he would have died. Gets that dismiss off.
That's what you need from Jemkin.
It was so close, the game almost didn't know what the hell to do with his animation. But he gets out. It's a very necessary beginning to the round here for Scars as they look to tie it up 10-10. That Emperor's still going to be pocketed as Allen spotting a few here. Out short on the jiggle peak. Looks to drop the smoke. We'll go ahead and send it down onto the box. The rest of the team now creeping over, getting ready to attack into hookah, where Torneko is waiting patiently with a bite in hand.
Got this orbital strike for Allen to make things all the more difficult now for Fancy. Torneko able to avoid any damage. Gonna try to shift in this corner. He flirted with this last time. Instead, he's gonna send a bite. Let's see if Fancy's gonna be able to read this.
Well, Trailblazer will make it all the more readable. Push in though, he just rushes past it. He dodged the dog, now finds yes I can. Swing on the corner, looks for the shutdown. Fizzio wins out of the fight. Behind the box, however, is Yoshi. Finds one, Fizzio gets himself a second. Orbital strike, dropping, and he's got nowhere to go. Can't get into the cover. This fight now going to be stranded with 10 seconds remaining. Nizzy out onto the site. He could get the plant, but he's going to be surrounded. Swing in, Jemkin, good for the kill, and we are tied up once more.
Just beautiful awareness here from Torneko. Once he's isolated, he just pushes space, completely catches Fancy off guard. Again, the big opener. This is what you need from Jemkin. If Scars is going to come through and take this map, take this 2-0. But Torneko, Yoshi there to back him up instantly. And a beautiful timing on that orbital strike from Allen, waiting for the player to get out of hookah before he commits to it. I think a lot of players would think, well, why not just send it into hookah right away? Well, by that time, you know, the players from your opponent might have already gotten out of that window and gotten away from it. Instead, he catches them with that, knowing that time, knowing that pressure that they're going to be under to get that plant down, catches the player out in the open. Beautiful stuff from Scars, and timeout from Fancy. Last one for them. No more remaining. This is it. Got to find a way to see if they can get 3 more rounds. Push this into Ascent. See if they can continue a dream run here.
That's now all the timeouts expended. Neither coach going to be able to pump the brakes from here on out as both teams seek to get themselves to 13, but just given the back and forth nature of this one, it feels like we're destined to go to overtime. We'll have to just wait and see though, as the coaches' mics will get turned off and give their final words to these squads.
I'm reminded now of an overtime on Vine, 2021 LCQ. was it North Epshon in Full Sense?
Oh.
Or North Epshon, and it was a Thai team for sure, but
don't recall.
Another Japanese team.
That's some
it went very deep.
Some pretty long ones.
That was a long time ago. It feels like maybe we're destined for some kind of long duel here on Bind.
Yoshi rushing out to grab the orb. That is going to give him the Seekers now. To have that alongside the Empress as far as ultra concerned. Showstopper for Jin though. Could be monstrous to try to get Fancy this lead once more. TP into the elbow, opposite side of the wall. It does get canceled. Yoshi trying to keep himself covered and out of sight. So far has worked a treat. Jin continuing to push, sends a Showstopper out. Not going to be able to find a kill. Yoshi going to be good for one on the site before he gets taken down by Nizzy, and that's going to be the neural depth now invested once more. Getting the full reveal and painting the picture that, yep, they're all back in spawn. Jin, assuming he wants the challenge, swing on the corner, but Jemkin takes his head off. The Leer forward quickly dealt with a bite. Buys some time alongside the poison orb. Volley into the back corner. Wukong forced away.
Blinded.
Pop flash to try to further delay. Jemkin goes rushing up. Empress still not popped. He still wants to try to hold on to this one, but they get themselves forward. They buy themselves enough space to actually get onto the spike as the half starts to come through. Visio finds one.
Look at that pop flash.
Double swing out from elbow. They managed to find Allen. Torneko now gone, and it's all on Crystal, the IGL. It's held to half. He's going to try to get back onto this one. With a swing in, Nizzy will get the finish, and Fancy United will move up 11-10.
That pop flash is so good.
Just another fast hit here from Fancy that catches Scars a bit off guard and puts Yoshi in a really difficult position. Have the Seekers in hand, and it opts to push behind tubes like this. Love that our observers showed us that replay, because that was a really important moment in this round. It took the only ult out of the hands of Scars, and Yoshi just felt the pressure, able to get a trade, and then the retake there, able to be handled very nicely with a very low amount of utility for Fancy. They just had the flashes really left from Wukong. They're able to get those crossfires and hold it down. Now to Torneko, oh boy.
2 ults to none. The judge has to be revealed nice and early. Pain shells as well, bouncing towards him. Drops out, and mind you, he does not have any armor.
The judge play is going to be good.
Back in, but they get a sense of this, and yes, I can just spams him through the box. The judge finds nothing. That leaves just Yoshi by himself here on the site, but not for long, because it's a misread here. For seemingly the first time from the side of Scars, they double rotate, but okay, looks like they suss this out very quickly. They start doubling back.
Yeah, with how much space Yoshi was able to get there, and Hookah kind of able to give enough of a clue for the side of Scars that this is likely to be an A hit. Jemkin with that Vandal, the big threat for the side of Scars. And a commit towards U-Haul.
Push forward, classic in hand. Allen takes down Jin. Crystal in the meantime gonna fall. Allen picks up that Vandal, finds one. Jemkin managing to come away with a single kill, but yes, I can just swings around behind him. Manages to find that kill. Now it's all on Yoshi. A judge now swapped out. Knows that there's one behind the box, but as far as Nizzy's position goes, it's a complete and utter surprise. He does have the Seekers, but he doesn't want to have to use them. The camp not getting the tag. Seems like he starts sensing that he is going to be up in heaven. The tap, the swing, yes I can, gets the kill. A 4K for him, as Fancy will take it to map point.
Just great stuff
Fancy
once again from
back.
Fancy, expecting the reaggress from Torneko. They learned their lesson from the last time in Hookah. And even though it's a pretty decent read, and the overwhelming firepower, the presence of mind from Yes I Can to expect this position, able to punish Jemkin, who doesn't have anywhere else really to dismiss at that point, trying to hold that showers angle, worried about Nizzy coming through there. Nizzy's utility once again coming up big to keep Yoshi in check at the end of the round. That Cypher Cam, well placed, well thought out. He has just been absolutely instrumental in the way that they're able to keep Scars contained, keep the information game slightly ahead. Just checking an angle here to make sure Jemkin isn't lurking around, but immediately the molly out.
A full send over here through the shower.
Ooh,
Not
look
something
at that
we've seen
spam.
quite just yet. The molly and the spray does help get a little bit of damage across, but no elimination's going to be found quite just yet.
The molly spam was good.
Going to be good for one. Jin trying to tuck back, but Allen up close next to the spike does find him before this. He will strike him down with the Odin. Man advantage is there. The Seeker's going to be let loose, and will reveal they are all sitting right now inside of the showers. The bite, the further delay. This Jemkin tries to go creeping forward. The pit still holding strong though. Flash in. Not gonna get the full blind. Crystal around the back, looking for the backstab. Goes jumping forward.
Oh, look at that flank.
Knows that the other's gonna be inside, and he gets the finish there.
God, that was
on
such a good flank.
It's not over yet. Scars
Reaver Phantom
will take
is
this up
buffed.
to 11, 1 round away from giving us an overtime.
Phantom by 100%.
And just enough pressure at the point of attack and enough patience here from the side of Scars. Just that lurk from Crystal.
Yes,
so key in this round. Oh my goodness.
Dude, that flank was insane.
The grenade there as well. Alan doing a good job up on the point.
Look at that.
And it's the ability to keep their utility in hand for the side of Scars. Keep that Seekers available. Sort of identify that position like you called out, Achilleos. Give them the opportunity to go for that rotate and eliminate that valuable ult for Fancy, who tried to close it out, try to dig into that well. Once again, Scars not fooled a second time around.
They drop the pit. Alan grabs the orb. Now the orbital strike is in his hands. Could be absolutely instrumental in getting us into that overtime here in our opening series of the playoffs.
And Crystal not far from the showstopper either. Only 2 away.
For now,
नहीं जाना चाहिए यार फिर
Fancy
लंबा
taking this nice and
खींचे
slow,
खींच
not making
जाएगा.
any noise, just holding some angles, trying to see if there's going to be any forward aggression on either side of the map.
खींचना दो.
You can tell that is not going to be the case whatsoever. Orb comes up, ping comes down though. Scars suspecting that somebody might have gotten moved forward into that cubby here on short.
I mean, Scars just
वैसे भी तीसरा मैप जाएगा ही अगर OT नहीं जाएगा तो.
Trying to identify as many of the positions of Scars as they can. They know there's 2 over on B. This looks like a commit towards A. Jin full on in towards U-Haul. Smokes up towards Heaven.
They claim it.
मस्त लग रहा राइड बड़ी
Waiting
इस
for the
वाली.
challenge to swing out. The flash goes in. He's full blinded. Jin takes advantage. Jemkin, however, up from Heaven. Gonna be good for 1. Takes the dismiss out as it's a bloodbath here on the site. Allen calling the plant now, coming down with 20 seconds remaining. Yes, I can. At 23. Ficio at 56. Jemkin sends the leer. Checks close. Nothing noted. The ult from Yes Again. Thinking about it, but no. Drops back.
मैं होता तो हेवन ult मार देता.
Just re-peek in towards Lambs. Sees nothing. Now he doesn't see anything at all because Jemkin takes him down, leaving just Nizzy. The hold to half coming through. Jemkin trying to defend, and he will. The 3K comes in, the defuse will come across, and Scars are not going down without a fight. They will extend this into OT and keep that 2-0 dream alive.
Just a phenomenal map here from both teams. Just love what you're seeing. Just, again, the adjustments. That orbital strike forces the positions out, does some damage. Those opening exchanges, Scars comes out just a bit ahead. The players from Fancy were dinged up. And Scars here, some fist bumps, some cheers. Looking to see if maybe they can end this on a 2-0. Fancy looking to try and take this map, take us over to Ascent. And of course with OT, it's all Steven. And both halves were even, so this is going to be absolutely, I think, a barn burner of an overtime.
6-6 into a 6-6. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? We're about to find out.
Jesus Christ, so many.
Have been opened up. Some flashes exchanged over here at B. Crystal again, just looking to open up hookah. Paint shells used, nothing noted, but very much is remembering how things went on that attacking side. The quick TP's in from behind him, getting that punish.
Exactly. He's looking at it, and he's worried that there could be somebody potentially lurking through. Spike going to be picked up, as it looks like Scars. He's going to be setting up, but look again, these fast lurks.
Steps from Allen, he should be noted. I think they know that he's rotating across. They're going to try to get the catch onto him. He manages to get himself out by Fountain just fast enough to not get spotted. Lear out. Nizzy lurking inside of the smoke. Crystal finds an opening kill. The swing in. Nizzy good for only 1. Crystal has 2. It's a 4v2 now, as they're both on the flank, and they're going to be noted. Great sense here. Not quite realizing how close he is, but Crystal has got the covering fire, and he shuts Jin down.
planted.
Yes, I can. Now the last man standing, the showstopper at the ready. He's been spotted. He's annihilated. Crystal gets the 4K. Scars taking the match point.
Crystal has been absolutely monstrous for Scars today on this raise.
Match point.
Such an impactful round here, and the timing just barely. Scars is able to get ahead of this lurk, clear the side out, get the plant almost down, and then of course the showstopper, the icing on the cake for Scars. Beautiful play, just absolutely beautiful stuff. And again, you know, Fancy has these ideas,
third map tak nahi aayega.
but it's just a step behind. A lot of times we had seen that Fancy was a step ahead of Scars, but this time around, not going to be the case. And an immediate timeout here, forced out, as you get an extra timeout when you go into overtime. So let's see if Fancy can drag this overtime a little bit further for themselves, or if it is going to be Scars who are going to be taking a 2-0 victory here. What a map. This has just been absolutely awesome.
It has been, and it's been so back and forth, and we can only hope that that is going to continue. The coach here for Fancy United, we've seen his elation, we've seen his frustration in the coach cam. You have to imagine that right now this is a speech of all speeches to be giving your players, because everything rides on winning this next round to keep themselves in this map, in this series. See if it's going to be good enough to get it done.
Ooh. Pressure is on, no doubt about it. Their year on the line in this one round for Fancy United Esports. And Jin and Yes I Can have had a wonderful map. But Crystal, once again, just an absolutely unreal performance for Scars today. Keeping them ahead as we go on to Scars on the defender's side.
Talking about how they love to play this death ball style. Everybody grouped up, 4 members strong now, looking to pressure here at Hookah. Torneko already making his exit as Jin goes jumping forward. Answering paint shells up into the corner of the spray. Coming down to Jin, so very low, and Torneko with the crossfire catches him from behind. And unfortunately, that might just be the beginning of the end here for Fancy United. Yes, I can. Nizzy still alive, but that much more pressure now applied to them. They're losing out on their raise that's been so important, especially on their attacking side.
And the utility dump tips things off here for Scars to get that opening kill. The Trailblazer, in particular, allows them to start setting their own utility, and Flash to confirm as well.
Flash goes in. Nizzy already noted. They're just going to go ahead and try to square peg round hole this one here. Whoa. Over onto the site. Somehow, Yes I Can finds Crystal, gets Torneko as well.
Yes I Can,
3K. But Yes I Can stands tall. The 3K for him. They get themselves down into the advantage. A 3v2 with Jemkin and Allen.
Something खेल रहा था ना रेना.
Trying to bring this one back, trying to finish the series, finish the map. Jemkin checks up. Nothing noted here in Hookah. Swings around the back. Swing out. Yes I Can. Gets himself a fourth.
Yes I Can.
We will go deeper. 13-13. Fancy. Whatever the coach said, it certainly worked a treat.
But what a beautiful idea here from Yes I Can to TP in there again. We've seen this before. Where he's able to just find enough room to get underneath the unsuspecting noses of Scars. Crystal tries to push space to try to do something about it. And Yes I Can, just too fast, too on the money. And the IGLs just absolutely having phenomenal performances for both teams. Back and forth we go.
We're straight back into it. Seems like Yes I Can. Maybe anticipating some early aggression here at short, but nothing spotted. Doesn't let that paranoia go. Still has it in the back pocket as Crystal once again looks to check forward and turns his sights immediately towards the teleporter. So wary about that punish coming through. Fancy stay statuesque, holding their positions, but do start creeping forward a little bit more.
Dismiss, मारते तो dismiss.
Right before they would have gotten caught out. Cleared already. It goes up, and Crystal instantly domes Jin. Gets the better of him. Yes I Can now trying to make his exit. He's over to the side.
Jin throw कर रहा है भाई, 2 बार हो गया.
Finding one. Torneko
अजीब तरीके की हरकतें कर रहा है. पिछली बार डबल साइकिल मार के मर गया था, अभी ड्राई पिक करके खड़ा हुआ है बस.
Allen just decayed down low. Jemkin not sure which way to look. Ends up getting caught out, leaving now just Yoshi and Allen all in their lonesome.
इत्तेफाक की बात है उसके मरने के बाद भी टीम अच्छा खेल रही है.
Clear onto the camera, but the dart still comes through. The rotations now.
इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है रेस की.
Is Nizzy not looking to take any unnecessary risks?
30 seconds left.
He was committed before that spike gets planted, which means the Fancy are going to be in striking distance here.
Oh, the space is
around
open.
The back. They're making their way through, but there's still not much time. They make the call. They say, okay, sprint it over towards A. Is this going to be enough? Can they get into positions, however, to still try to win this out? Because the deck is very much stacked against them all the same. 2 seconds to spare. The spike now getting planted. Fancy realizing that they've been duped.
No utility at all to speak of for Scars until that flash comes back online for Yoshi, but he just used it to confirm that the site was open.
Flash around the back into the spawn just to try to check Yoshi. The tip of the spear right now in this moment. The wall drops. He snaps on the one. He looks for the other. He cannot get it. Yes, I can. Keeps standing tall now, leaving Allen in 1v3. He hears the footsteps from 2. Waits for his moment. Swings out. Gets 1. But now, stuck into a corner. Swings back in. Can't get it done. And Fancy, they will get the round win. They will take the lead. And the map is once more in their hands.
Unbelievable stuff here. Scars trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Switching sides.
But the spray's just a little bit off on the follow-ups. If either one of those second kills had come through for Scars, they might have been able to do that. But the early crunch here, the crossfires not able to be dealt with. Yeah, the Lear and push combo from Jemkin and Crystal was good. But the follow-through is better for Fancy. Just unreal stuff. Now they're 1 away from pushing us to Ascent, keeping their tournament lives alive, and this is yet another timeout. Of course, this is it. No more, now for real, no more timeouts left.
Yeah, no further communication to be had from the coaches from this point. Let's see if Scars can continue to extend this. Get that reset once again, or Fancy will finally be able to stand tall, put their feet down, and end this map and extend this all the way over to Ascent. We were talking about it before. It felt like we were destined, just given how neck and neck they were to get to overtime. So God knows how many more rounds we have ahead of us here for this map. But it has been delivering as Fancy continue to fight back. I mean, you think about it, that push coming through, Jin instantly shut down. The 4v5 conversions from the side of Fancy have been excellent. Even 3v5 conversions in some situations.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm just so impressed with Fancy in the way that they never really lose composure throughout this entire map. Every time that Scars seems to have them on the ropes, they're able to punch back, they're able to stabilize, they're able to get back on their feet, continue to fight. And yeah, it's been on the back of some heroic plays by Yes I Can here as this map has run along. But now, Fancy on the attacker side, Scars on the defender side. Jemkin trying to take control of Showers, and Fancy not really interested, trying to use that Trailblazer to help him out, but Fancy had already decided to leave that area. Now you've got that 3-stack from the side of Scars. Flash is going to spot Nizzy, but everybody else into hookah here.
Crystal is thinking about going for this peek. This could be everything. Swings out, finds one, now tries to disengage. The flashback almost actually.
Oh my God.
Knocking Yoshi back in towards them. The paint shell's in, Jin finds the kill. And we're instantly even back up now at a 4v4. Crystal continuing to want to push the issue. He's thinking about it, but they're watching for it. And in fact, they're just cutting noise and looking to reaggress. Smoke comes down though. Good timing from Allen.
Sky फंस गया था मैं.
Trying to keep him in a safe position here.
Certainly not.
Oh, he's tucked up right against the edge of this one. The push in, finds one. Can he get away with more? And the answer's no. Now into a 3v3. 2 members left under the site. The wall going to be set up. Flash out through the smoke. Drop down out of the window. Oh. Tornado guns him to the ground.
1v3.
Nizzy needs to be the one if they want to end this map right here. Sends down the cage. Shifts over, grabs the spike, but I don't think he's got the read. He spots one, the headshot comes in, but Tornado with a third will tie it up once again, 14-14.
I mean, these Scars players are so
Jesus Christ,
difficult to predict. You know, sometimes we see Torneko getting aggressive on the back of these angles, on the back of these smokes. And yeah, they're able to take Yoshi down. But then this time, Crystal with tons of patience, able to find another, and then they're just not quite ready for Torneko to be holding that angle. I'm gonna need that towel myself here. I'm getting a little bit sweaty after this.
Well, you're the one who decided to wear a turtleneck in Bangkok.
That's true. But it's like the AC was blasting in here earlier, but it's, you know, with how hot this map has been. Oh my God, Crystal.
Crystal finding one, but can he get away? Oh, almost drifted back into the smoke, but Wukong eventually finds him. Would have been the great escape, but not to be. Instead, it's just going to be both Razes dead right off the rip.
Positioning, dude.
Let's see.
Now looking to hold.
You look what Raze was doing, trying to do some Houdini shit.
Past these boxes and the truck.
Peek up over the top.
Yeah.
His head barely obfuscated by that smoke. He's just trying to see if he can get a pixel of that enemy Cypher. Nothing spotted yet, and now needs to be wary about the reinforcements arriving here onto the site. The bite flushes him out. He drifts back now into the showers as Wukong is in position to backstab here on short. Tucked into the corner and watching for it here is Yoshi. Jemkin also in a position where he could potentially counter swing, but no, Jemkin's gonna be the first one to fall. Yoshi wins out on that fight. The pop flash coming through, but oh, he's not ready for the player on the right. Now he's not ready for the one on the left.
What the heck?
The cleanup comes in, the time dwindling down. It's low, but it's still going to be the defuse coming in for the side of Fancy once more, taking the lead, taking map point.
It looked pretty good for Scars. I thought they had a pretty good read on this. But then out in the open here, you can get the trade on the Razes. But they pushed that trap wire. I thought they were going to play completely behind that space. But instead, Yoraneko tries to get aggressive through his own poison cloud, gets spotted, and then the round just starts to collapse. Wukong there on that long flank. Again, Fancy loves those long flanks, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but a lot of times they have been working. They've kind of identified that Scars doesn't always do the best job.
Jin with the rush forward. Does need a bit of that friendly fire paranoia, but still is going to be firing as Alan is disconnected all the way out towards the spawn. Jimkin remains while just here at backside. Crystal holding in showers. Nizzy walk into him. He sees the elbow. It's a knot for him. Jimkin finds one, goes for the devour, not the dismiss. Still keeps it even, but could have got out of there scot-free. Crystal though.
Holy shit.
Lurks up, finds Yes I Can, brings them back into an advantage. They should have a very good idea about the positions of these last two players, and one of them is hard confirmed. Spike is in hand. Could TP across, but Nizzy would be so late to join. Visio in the meantime, pushing up, spots him, is spotted, tries to swap out weapons, manages to do so, but gets run down. Yoshi with the kill, Torneko with the finish. We go deeper. 15-15, it's not over yet.
Absolutely, just phenomenal stuff from both teams. Getting deep into this map. Oh boy. I mean, Jemkin here, like you said, had he gone for that dismiss, could have been a little bit of an easier one, but Crystal able to sneak back out of showers, able to get back into a position to set up a beautiful crossfire. And with Crystal watching, Jake Shin.
Jake Shin, head of APAC, checking his threads perhaps.
Yes, yes.
The new hotness. Right now, nothing's hotter than this matchup. Again, Crystal, same setup.
Competition player का नहीं किसी का माल ज़्यादा effective है उसका.
See what Scars wants to do. I'd like to see them try to look for some of these lurks, and right now they're so far back. It feels like they are kind of expecting some kind of pressure early.
Looks like right now they're going to go for a 2-3 split. Short showers. Pretty far back hold here from the side of Visio, so he can just disengage. Gets away for a moment. Tries to send on that bite. Now not at the ready. Gets knocked down to 22 HP. Crystal goes for the entry, goes diving forward. Still is tagged up just a bit, but now finds one. Allen gets the other. Yes, I can. He's been so very clutch for them here. Sends out the smoke. It's going to be noted. Allen swings the corner, finds that elimination. Wukong, good for one. He's going to get vulnerable. Flushed out into the open. Yoshi with the elimination now. Nizzy on his lonesome here in a 1v3. And Allen has got himself an orbital strike, as well as the molly. And you'd have to suspect that even a miracle is not going to be good enough to get Nizzy back into this round.
This should be a 0% chance here for Nizzy.
Everything they're playing with, he will be able to get one, but needs to get the tap onto the spike to try to force out some of this util nice and early. Instead, actually, no. Orbital's just going to be used out in front. The bite comes sailing in from Toroneko, and yeah, there's just no hope, no chance in hell. Even if he kills them both, the damage is done. He'll find one, and he wants to kill just for the sake of it, but there's nothing else to be done. Nizzy will fall to the spike as Scars will now once again get match point.
Switching sides.
And it's
Match point.
It's the entry here from Crystal that breaks some of the crosshairs, breaks some of the sight lines of Fancy. He's able to just barely find a timing to scoot out of showers with those blast packs, send some confusion, create some crossfires, create some angles, gain some space for the side of Scars that's able to snowball this round into their favor, to take control of that front of the site, get some of those big kills early, and lock things down. And Scars now 1 round away from taking this 2-0 victory to go up against Naus Esports. I told you this felt like that 2021 LCQ game, dude.
Certainly does, as Jin just dead to his own paint shells, and that is not what you want to see at all. Crystal, in the meantime, finds Yes I Can, and it feels like the wheels have come off the bus.
It looks like the end.
Where do you go from here?
It can be nothing short of
Body block
near perfect for the side of Fancy United if they're going to get this back. And now you can start drifting some players over, a little bit of an overcommit towards the B site here from Scar. So some space has been open for this plant for Wukong and Fisio.
It's a 3v5.
Give Fisio that spike potentially. See if maybe he can drag a Viper's Pit into this round. Nizzy just trying to buy time, trying to keep Scars planted.
Working his way forward, was ready for Toroneko in that position. Now paint shells right into his face, and Yoshi swings to give him a bullet instead. The A site unoccupied, but with 5 members for a retake. Fisio needs to go absolutely nuclear here on this forward hold. He's going to try to drift back, but the footsteps are coming closer and closer to him. Suddenly he's going to be out into the open. Now he's noted. They absolutely saw him.
They saw him.
As they look to go on the chase. The Flash finding nothing. He's got to swing out, but they are just continuing to flood forward. He drops down, manages to find one, but Jemkin will claim him. It's all on Wukong. He's got 32 health in a dream. But it's now a nightmare as the defuse will come in. It's 17 to 15. Scars. They will end the tournament here for the side of Fancy United. Their season, their chance.
गलत prediction था तुम्हारा.
Dia mau main branded, aku juga main branded lah. Let's go.
Outside garage.
Found them.
Caution here.
Play satu garage.
Let's go, Sojanya Lamba.
Are you going C or B?
There. Party's over.
Not yet. Oh,
On window.
Last player standing.
City. One city.
भाई ओमन ने थ्रो किया, सही कह रहा है. साला वहां जाके पता नहीं क्या कर रहा था भाई. 3v5 होता तो जीत भी सकते थे भाई. इतना भी मुश्किल नहीं होता 3v5.
Perhaps we see this go, 19, 17, 20 plus rounds on either side.
Yeah.
But Scars are going to be the ones holding their heads high and keeping themselves alive here in Ascension.
I am just so tickled. I loved watching that map. Can't ask for a better performance here with their lives on the line. Fancy United still able to dig deep.
चलो stats.
until the very end.
अभी next game में आते हैं next team के साथ.
3 overtimes.
Yeah. And look.
ठीक है. मैं अपनी स्ट्रीम के देख रहा हूँ. Next game में आता हूँ.
In the past might just write them off coming into this event, but they make it into the top 3 of their group. They push Scars to the very brink here on Scars' map. Pick a bind, and they take it so very deep with a 15-17 finishing scoreline with them in the loss. So I think these players definitely have made names for themselves. They definitely need to be respected and paid attention to in the future, because clearly these guys can play.
The future is so bright for this region. I mean, this was just absolutely wonderful. I mean, yeah, Split didn't maybe go their way, but here on Vine, completely new agent composition that we hadn't seen at least since the last couple of times they had played. Maybe they had run it in the past a long time ago, but here, this was not anything that Scars could have had prepared on tape. And so this was just them coming in with a game plan. A lot of that Cypher stuff really brilliant. The ways that they were pushing space here, really good reads, but again, Scars just ever so slightly ahead right now.
But what a hell of a way to kick off the playoffs here in Ascension Pacific. I mean, okay, overtime, it ends up going deep. Not quite that 3-mapper that we were hoping for, but feels pretty much like we got a 3rd map there because of how tight that was. But of course, we're not done yet. We still have another series, but before we even get into that, the desk has plenty to break down, as does Komodo, who's going to be standing by with yet another Telestration segment for us. He's been waiting there since before we even got into overtime, so he's been standing stalwart for quite some time. But go ahead, take it away and break down the action.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, guys. Of course, so much in that series, a close one, but we are going to get started right into this segment, and none other than the bonus round, real early to kick off the competitiveness here. This is a bonus. There is guns, lots of them for Fancy United, and what I want to highlight in this one is the setup that we are actually seeing from Fancy United is going to be the same in the pistol round, where we do see, in fact, Wukong and Nizzy playing over on the site itself. And what I want to say in this one is keep an eye on the utility isolation that Scars are able to throw in. First Aaliyah to isolate that one-on-one duel, and then Nizzy falls on the swing. The split-second difference that Sky Smoke actually buys Scars to be able to find those 2 kills is paramount for them to be able to take over this round. And then things start to get a little bit spicy thrown into the mix from Fancy United because of the space that Scars has already found into the site. It's going to go ahead and skip forward a little bit further here to when we get into the depths of this post plan. All of the members of Scars actually lose their life, meaning that the next round, even though they get the plant, they get the win in this one, means that they could potentially be playing with a couple of scraps, but it's not going to be the case. They manage here in the next round to still get a pretty comfortable bye, and keep an eye on the judge that has actually been thrown over towards Crystal here. With the plays over towards the B site previously, we have a little bit of a change up for the side of Scars, but most importantly for Fancy, actually, because we can see in the showers, we actually do get a change where the Cypher setup for them is going to be over at this A site now, with the Viper being there as well. And that is going to be the sinister play that actually nearly undoes Scars in this round. So as we see, it's going to be a very quick launch from Crystal in towards Lamps rather. And we want to see, with all these Cypher cages going on down, that Nizzy is off-put by the Snake Spike going on down. So at this point in time, a 5 versus 4 situation for the side of Scars. But again, this position in the showers, not expected whatsoever to be able to peek out. And although the location of Physio is being held by Gem Keen, that duel is actually lost. And that's where this round just gets turned on its head, you would think. Remember, we just had a map that was so close going into the depths of overtime that all of the rounds just have these really interesting moments that can turn it completely the other way around. So when we do actually fast forward and get in towards the site, we see that the amount of space is actually deeper controlled for the Scars members into the site. And Jin, he had a flank potential over at the A site if Scars did stick there, but he is completely isolated out of the play over at the fountain. And that just forces his teammates to have to get into the action really early on. Crystal with this judge, up close and personal. A little bit of tomfoolery when he actually pulls out his knife. And yes, can get the trade there. But then into the one-on-one, it comes down to who can get the job done better. You'd think it might be Jin because he's already on this line, but he swings, moves his crosshair, and the placement for Yoshi in that round had already shown that he was ripe and ready for the duels in knowing where Jin was coming from because of the satchels that came in a little bit earlier. Such a competitive game to be thrown in this one. Overtime galore, but in the end, Scars get the victory. And of course, with that 2-0, that means we are done for this one. And we're ready to essentially throw it back over to the desk here.
Thank you for that excellent breakdown, Komodo. I mean, that was a really exciting game. It was neck and neck, round after round, and it's going to be Scars that's going to be facing off now tomorrow. Now, I think Fancy was just really prepared this time around. They seem to understand Scars and their very aggressive gameplay, and they punished them for it.
Yeah, they were punishing him at the start, and then towards the end, it just, like kind of what Paper Thin said, they ran out of gas in the tank, and you could clearly see a slight difference in both Ray's players. I just want to throw that out there first.
Jin just decided to kill himself at one point.
Oh, no.
Ran into his own paint shells. And, it's not the first time we've seen it in a pro match, but it is unfortunate, especially when it happens in overtime.
Oh, yeah.
So that's rough. But like we just said on the desk, I think the biggest thing for Fancy is, okay, you pick the Omen, right? And you're setting up trap plays. Omen's really good for that. The paranoia is so valuable. You can really set up for it. You're kind of tying it in with a Sky or something like that, or with a Viper Toxic Screen. So that's great. But again, this is one of those scenarios where, okay, after a fair number of rounds or after the side switch, you don't really have as many ideas anymore. And then Scars can just say, well, we have Arena, we have great fraggers, we're just going to bulldoze our way through, catch back up. And quite frankly, on defense, yes, the set plays set up Jin on the Raze to get a lot of kills on Fancy. But once you went over to the other side on attack, as the entry, he was barely getting any frags. And yes, I Can was the one who had to kind of drag the team out of the trenches to get into overtime.
Yeah, I have to say, even Jemkin, however, I think it's fair to say Jemkin wasn't popping off the way we usually see him pop off, even just a couple of days ago. And when he's not doing that, Scars does struggle. But Crystal continues to be an uber flex player, choosing to be a duelist today, getting back on that op as Raze. I mean, how impactful was that, Quack?
Really, I mean, he had that judge play, swapping over onto different agents, different weapons at times, and then also his teammates just there to back him up, really. They kind of had an understanding for how Fancy wanted to play against them after the first half, and just trying to press that pressure on and going a little bit faster at times, or sometimes even just knowing how to kind of peek out in certain spots, especially that one play that we saw with Crystal kind of going out of hookah along with his teammate Yoshi. A little bit tricky at times, but it's the right idea to kind of get that opening pick against Fancy United, because after they lose a couple of players, it's always tough for this squad to kind of regroup and recollect before they go in for another play. There was also another round, I think, which was really interesting. I think it was round 23. It was one of those plays where you saw, it's a good idea. Like Fishio had this Viper ult set up around the A site, the one up by Bats, and then they would guard the spike with this Odin play of his. It's really good. It kind of worked out for the first time, but then Crystal had that adjustment. I mean, that's the thing about this guy. He's not just the duelist, he's also the IGL. So he calls for his team to kind of hold it down on the site while he wraps around back. It took a little bit of time, but when he arrived, oh boy, Fishio just had no idea what hit him from behind.
Yeah, and the timing of that as well, right? They learned not just to flank, but the previous time it happened, they had spent so much time trying to do we tap the spike or not? Do we draw the utility? And they kind of flustered it. So yeah, the adaptability, a lot better from Scars. The fragging power, a lot better from Scars. And like the caster said, it's unfortunate that the road ends here for Fancy, because again, the ideas they bring are good. They have legs, the logic is behind you. It just doesn't go far enough. And a lot of it is, again, I think that's kind of what you were referring to, is that it relies on the entire team and their utility. So once you lose one, it's like, well, how do we make the same thing happen with one of the agents gone, right? And that picture doesn't quite play out in their head fast enough. I'm sure, obviously, that they've practiced, but again, on stage, things are a little different.
Yeah, things are always different when the pressure is on a live stage with a completely full audience. Now let's pull up those match stats right now. I think it was something we were discussing back backstage as well with oh my gosh, the IGL playing a Crystal. Jeez.
It was a long map.
It was so long. But Crystal playing on Raze, Crystal playing on Raze, it was, I think, really interesting for him. You know, we keep talking about it as an IGL. Using an op, again, as an IGL, is that confidence? Are they so confident, or are they just trying to throw Fancy into a mental loop?
I really, it's interesting, it's unique, I kind of like it because as a duelist, maybe as an IGL, you can call for certain pieces of utility and tell your teammates what exactly you want to do, what you want to get out of a certain play. And I think, you know, round 23 when he had the play against Vishio's Viper Spit, that was an example of one of those rounds. I just wonder if it's enough to carry them over against Naus.
All right, with that, we're going to hear from the players themselves. We have Isar on stage who's going to interview one of the winning players.
And ladies and gentlemen, back at home and both at the venue, we are here now with our winner just now from the previous match. That was an amazing start to the playoffs. We have with us today Alan from Scars. ขอบคุณที่ช่วยกันทำอาหารกินด้วยนะครับคนที่อยู่ตรงนี้นะฮะก็ก่อนอื่นเลยนะผมเชื่อว่าหลายๆท่านนะครับน่าจะมีคำถามเยอะมากๆนะครับผมให้กับคุณแอลเลนนะฮะซึ่งเกมเมื่อกี้บอกเลยว่าเสียวไส้มากๆเลยนะครับแต่อย่างไรก็ตามครับสำหรับเกมแรกนะผมอยากรู้เลยว่าเฮ้ย Playoff เปิดตัวมาเนี่ยคิดว่ารูปแบบของความเป็น Single Elimination เนี่ยมันส่งผลต่อทีมมากน้อยขนาดไหนเพราะเอาจริงๆดูไปก็ค่อนข้างตื่นเต้นอยู่เนาะ And of course congratulations for the match.
Thank you.
And yeah, you always seem so confident, right? In the past, in the group stages, your matches were really, really well performed. But you know, the fact that this is already the playoffs and also in a single elimination format, do you think that that has any impact on you and your team?
To be honest, I don't think there is not much impact for us. We're always confident of what we do, so not much really.
ครับก็คำตอบนะครับง่ายๆเลยนะครับก็ Single Elimination ก็เท่านั้นครับไม่ค่อยมีผลเท่าไหร่เพราะว่าเราก็ทำในสิ่งที่เราต้องทำต่อไปให้มันดีที่สุดนั่นเองนะครับผมสำหรับคำถามต่อมาครับอันนี้เป็นคำถามที่บอกเลยนะว่านักพากย์ทั้งฝั่งไทยนะฮะและฝั่งอังกฤษเนี่ยคุยกันเยอะมากนั่นคือเรื่องของคริสตัลที่หยิบเรสมาแล้วก็ซื้อออปเปอเรเตอร์กันมันอยู่ในหลายรอบนะครับแล้วอยากจะรู้เหมือนกันว่าเฮ้ยมันมาได้ยังไงมันมาจากไหนนะครับมันคือความมั่นใจหรือว่ามันเป็นการที่เราเนี่ยเตรียมการมาอยู่แล้วนะครับ so the next question is actually about the performance and the events that happened last game so we all know that it's already having you know Crystal being on Raze is pretty unique, but in addition, you guys also bought plenty of operators during the round, especially in the second map. You know, was that pure confidence, or do you think that was something that has already been planned by your team?
I think it was like just for this enemy. They like to do like a contact push, which is like they don't do any action and they just peek with no skills. So we tried to do just using operator, but after that we didn't succeed much. So we changed up it and we just went back to rifles.
โอ้โหบอกเลยนะครับว่าสุดยอดจริงๆนะครับผมสำหรับคำตอบนะครับคือเขาอ่านฝ่ายตรงข้ามครับคือมองว่าอีกฝ่ายหนึ่งเนี่ยมี contact push ค่อนข้างเยอะนะครับนั่นก็คือการที่เข้ามาแย่ๆนั่นแหละแต่ไม่ยอมใช้สกิลเพื่อที่จะเข้าไซต์ก็เลยคิดว่า operator เนี่ยน่าจะเป็นคำตอบที่ดีแต่พอใช้แล้วนะครับมันกลับไม่ได้ work ตลอดเวลาเลยทำให้นะครับก็ต้องเปลี่ยนแผนกันไปมานะครับก็ต้องบอกเลยนะครับว่าตึงเปรี้ยเหมือนกันนะครับสำหรับคู่นี้นะครับ and of course congratulations again for the match. Apparently that is it for now guys back at home. สำหรับคนไทยนะครับที่ดูอยู่นะครับตรงนี้นะครับก็หมดเวลาแล้วครับสำหรับการสัมภาษณ์ตรงนี้ผมเชื่อว่าหลายๆคนน่าจะมีคำถามเนาะแต่อย่างไรก็ตามครับวันนี้เรายังเหลืออีก1แมตช์นั่นเองครับ and of course ladies and gentlemen back at home we still have one more match left for you for the playoffs day 1 so stay tuned please don't go anywhere and we'll see you right back after the break
Uninterrupted gaming with Grab Unlimited. Free delivery every day.
It closes out 2-0.
Lead was flawless instead. They will stain the record of such a stellar squad.
Bonkers! It absolutely will be one with the 1 versus 2 clutch. Continuing to show that Scars is king.
And now it's bound for the playoffs, and we get the 2-0 from now.
Very nicely done from the big man here. Fancy United.
One lesson I learned from this is like we gave them too much respect.
Well done by Fancy United. Can send your crown.
Meta không tồn tại trong lối chơi của chúng tôi. Thì với vòng playoff này, tính kỷ luật và lối chơi đồng nhất sẽ là chìa khóa giúp team mình.
Fancy United make a statement.
Sobrang hirap nung simula. Pero eventually naging okay naman.
Now is the time.
In Ascension, we needed to beat our pressure. We almost every day fighting.
All of us together face nervous, but I know that as long as we keep going and stick together as a team, we should overcome it. Kita itu tim yang terbentuk dari kalah. Jadi kita datang sini sekarang mau menang. Mình muốn thấy những trận chiến đẫm máu, những yếu tố bất ngờ.
For this one, think smarter and win this tournament.
I think in playoff, we can show more our performance to our team.
We're gonna go bump in the circle.
I expect a chaotic battle.
Gue yakin banget preparation kita dan mentality kita.
It's a single elimination. We don't have the second chance to bounce back.
Nasa sa inyo yung pressure, wala sa amin.
Let's see what you got.
such a stellar squad.
Bonkers! It absolutely will be what with the 1 versus 2 clutch. Continuing to show that Scars is king.
And now us is bound for the playoffs, and we get the 2-0 from Nowsies.
Very nicely done from the big man here. Fancy United.
One lesson I learned from this is like we gave them too much respect.